All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Already got a tier 1 membership coming in from Machop172. Machop, thanks so much. Welcome. We got Dylan here tonight. We got Logan. We got the Sorting Hat. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, the Sorting Hat here live. I'm going to turn down my... I feel like my mic is still just a little bit too loud when I go back and listen to this recording. So let's see. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. How about right in here? Check, check, check. 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, mic check. Maybe up 1 more decibel. Right in there. Check, check, check. Yeah, I think I like that. Looks like we got Ellie here again. Ruben is here. Deep, Yog, Rebecca. Looks like we got quite a few Ravenclaws in the house tonight. 2 a.m. stream for Walls79. Hey, Walls, thank you for being here. James Prince, let's go, Retro. Love your work. Hey, James, appreciate your support. We got Brandon here. We got Nicholas. We got Amor Poet. Once again, I remember seeing that name before. Hi, IQ Warrior. What's up? Welcome back. Yog, YAWG, welcome. Jay Rossi, what's up? Recognize that name too. David. Jonathan. Hey, that's my first name. Welcome. Man, we must have a lot of you guys over in Europe because every time I say I'm going live around 8 p.m., it's always... I get a lot of people like, oh, really? Like, trust me, I wish I could go live much earlier. I do. But I don't get home till about 6 p.m. Eastern time. So that's enough time for dinner, you know, get some time with the kids. Then you got to get the kids in bed. And then it's right now. It's 8 o'clock. Let's see, who else we got? We got the White Wolf back as well. Stephen Rice. TM03. Yeah, you guys like this music? I was like, we got to find something else that goes a little bit more with the Harry Potter theme. So I went online, and this is just a non-copyright Celtic medieval tavern music. I was like, oh, dude, this is vibes right here, man. This is vibes. I'm loving this. Live, dance, laugh, music, love. Ruben. Did I say Ruben? Welcome, Ruben. Blade Dragonheart. Sorry if I missed you guys. All right, we got about, let's see, about 6 minutes. I'm going to go grab a beverage. So, grab some snacks, guys. Settle in. Do what you need to do if you need to take a quick break. I'm going to grab some, I think I'm going to go with a Coke. It's probably a Cherry Coke Zero. That's been my go-to lately. Zachary, what's up? Gryffindor's in the house. Zachary Morris? No way. Are you too young to remember Saved by the Bell, Zachary Morris? Are you too young? Oh, man, I'm giving my age away again. Kylo Ren, what's up? Welcome. Wubby, what do you think we'll see at Gamescom? Oh, we're going to be talking a lot about Gamescom tonight. Got to be talking a lot about Gamescom. All right, guys, I'll be back. Victor Rookwood, oh my gosh. Nobody panic. Everybody remain calm, okay? Just remain calm. Remain calm. All right, guys. Kylo Ren, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for the subs. Oh, there was one more right before that too, and I missed it. It's supposed to pop up in the chat, but I don't know. For some reason, it's not popping up there. Might need to look into upgrading that. Or not upgrading, but changing my setting. Let's go, man. Already up to 39 likes before we're even officially live. Got 134 of you in here right now. That's awesome. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about tonight, guys. We have a lot to talk about. Hello from Portugal? Wow, that is awesome. We got Washington State. We got Portugal. I know we got some others I saw earlier. Was there in Australia? Somebody said it's like 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. I don't even remember. I know, right? It's like news is really happening fast when the release date is actually like the old news now, right? Germany, Maddie from Germany. Welcome, Maddie. Welcome. Greetings from Brazil, Argentina. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Tom, dude, you're not supposed to tell people that. Come on, Tom. Come on, Tom. Keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself, Tom. Welcome, guys, to RetroRaconteur Live. Norway. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. Dylan, what's up? Dylan rocking the those emotes, man. I tried to fix them. It looks like they are fixed now, Dylan, because I noticed whenever you were posting them, the Slytherin one in particular, it was cutting it off on top. So I went back in and uploaded just a slightly smaller version. We got Nico here as well. Nico, okay, Nico throwing up all 4 of them. Nice. So now I can see them all. Yeah, it looks like everything is perfect. Greetings from Hogsmeade, Rookwood. Oh my goodness, guys. We got Rookwood in the chat. Santiago. Yo, let's give Santiago a shout out. Welcome, Santiago. Mexico here. That's awesome. All right, guys. So, Jay Rossi had a request for the music. I'm going to paste it in the chat here. I just found this today because I was like, you know what? We got to get some, we got to get some music that fits the vibes. Fits the Harry Potter, medieval fantasy atmosphere. All right, let me fix the webcam just real quick. It's just a little bit too... Let's see. There we go. Actually, you know what? I might turn this... Oh, man. That's like a little bit too bright, but then that's a little bit too dark. Wait, I might be able to do this right here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Right in there. All right. Ontario, Canada, let's go. Antoine, yes, we just got started. Oh, I'd love to do Hedwig's theme, Rebecca. I'd love to, but unfortunately that would probably get the live stream taken down in a matter of about 5 seconds. Yeah, YouTube's auto detection on the copyrighted music would kick in really quick. So the whole live stream would just go down. That's kind of a difference in like YouTube live streams versus Twitch. Twitch, you'd get by with it live, but then your VOD would likely get hit, and that section would be muted, or they might even issue a takedown. So YouTube, you gotta be extra careful with what you're playing on the live. So I hope this this website that I shared, I hope it's correct. I'm pretty sure it is. But it's no copyright music, so I think we should be good. All right, guys. Well, we got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the commentary view here so that we can actually look at this. And let's turn down the music just slightly. I think I want to keep the music going, but just have it a little bit more in the background. There we go. So I know everybody's wanting to talk about Gamescom, and we're definitely going to get to Gamescom. But first, I mean, we got to talk about the major news, right? And I put up a video on it. But now that we've had some time to sit with this for a few days, I want to just, where's your head at, guys? How's everybody feeling about the date? February 10th, 2023. Chandler Wood, community manager, actually put out a post today asking how's everybody feeling now that we've had time to kind of think on it over the weekend. I totally should have seen it coming because I posted the video early. Let's see, we found out on Friday, right? Yeah, Friday. I posted the video early Friday morning, and the day before that's when he had posted a thing about, hey, our usual Thursday thing's not happening. We still got something planned for this week, but it's pushed to tomorrow. I should have known right then, man, because PR 101 is like you drop kind of something that might be bad news. It's like you drop it on a Friday. You drop it on this. I mean, people don't follow this as much anymore because the age of online internet and marketing has changed that a bit. But back in the day, you know, when it was just like newspapers and TV, people would drop their bad news on a Friday afternoon, 5 p.m. because, you know, then they kind of have the weekend for things to hopefully settle down. So it's like, I wonder if that's what they were doing here. I did see your comment earlier, Zachary, too, about that you are old enough to know who that is, and you get asked, where's Slater and Screech? Oh, man. I bet you hear that a lot. Yo, Carlos with the super chat. Carlos, thank you so much. Let's see what Carlos' question here is. Me and my mom are the only Harry Potter fans out there. Family, we are proud Gryffindors. Nice. That's awesome. So not even a question, just showing support to the stream. Proud Gryffindor here as well. And Aaron, thank you so much for subbing to the channel. Yeah, proud Gryffindor here. I gave my 8-year-old son, like, he's too early to be sorted, but he knows I'm real into Harry Potter, and so he asks lots of questions, and we talk about my wife being a Hufflepuff and me being Gryffindor, and he's like, what is that? So I'm like, okay, we'll give you the test. I thought he would be Ravenclaw or Gryffindor. He got Slytherin. Which is fine, you know. Not all Slytherins are bad, but he's only 8. So I'm like, well, we need to do it again when he's like 11. See what he gets then when he would actually be going to Hogwarts. Window panes have the mascots in the same order as the hourglasses in the movies. Jonathan, totally okay with the delay. Never want to experience a Cyberpunk game again in my life. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Having a Hogwarts Legacy centric YouTube channel and tweeting about it a lot, I see and read a lot. I was actually pretty surprised. I thought the reaction was going to be worse. So I feel like the vast majority of people, I would say 70% are good with it. There's probably another 20%, I don't know, maybe a little bit, maybe about 60% who are like, I'm totally good. Then about 30% who are like, oh, this stings. I'm not happy about it, but I'm okay with it. You know, if it results in a better game. Jay Rossi, I think this is right where you were. I remember reading your comment saying you were disappointed, but you come to understand it, right? And then I would only say, 10% or so that I saw of like people really mad. Some people saying they should just cancel the game. Like, what? But yeah, I was pretty surprised. I feel like it went over fairly well for the most part. I think it helped the fact they were able to give a solid date. It's not just, hey, we're delaying. It's, hey, here's the date. So we went from holiday 2022 to February 10th, 2023, which is a Friday. And if you really think about it like this, like, I don't think anybody at this point, we were kind of all expecting that early to mid-December. I think people had sort of like, November. If they were going to do November, they should have said something by now. So we were kind of moving on from November. So if you were already in your mind saying December, it's just 2 months, basically. 2 months. 2 months from what we were all thinking. Now, yes, they missed out on the big holiday shopping season, but it'll come back again. You know, they'll be able to sell a lot in February, sell a lot in March. Then you can have a big summer, and then by the time holidays roll around, you got those discounts kicking in, right? Sawyer says, if the game comes in a finished state, then it's all good with me. David says, I'm gutted as I so want to play, but if they need more time, then so be it. I want this game. See, I think that's a perfectly reasonable response, David. And I was happy to see that a lot of the people who were disappointed, that was most of what I saw for the people who were disappointed. It's like, oh, yes, I'm annoyed. I so wanted to play this. But I didn't see a lot of people getting mad and angry at the devs, taking it out on Avalanche, taking it out on WB, you know, which I think is good. Shot of the windows is beautiful. Yeah, we need to talk about the windows here, you guys. Because there are some interesting... Oh, wait, is it not going to let me zoom in? Okay, wait, let me do this. I have to open the image in a new tab, and then, okay, now we can zoom in. Give you guys a better shot of this right here. It's kind of blurry, but yeah, I love that. You got Hufflepuff here. What most believe to be Hufflepuff's cup right here, which would eventually become a Horcrux, of course. Here we have Gryffindor, and you can just make out, like, you can make out the badger right there. See that? And then you've got the H for Hufflepuff here. Then here we've got Gryffindor. I'm still trying to make out the exact, like, where the lion is exactly. I mean, it's up in here somewhere. Looks like the mane here. But yeah, this one I have a little bit more trouble seeing exactly where the lion is. And then, of course, you got the sword. The sword of Gryffindor right here. And, dude, why am I having such a hard time? Oh, wait, because this is the reflection. So we're seeing the outside of it. Yeah. Because I was like, what? This looks like a P. But now I see it, like, from the other side, that would be a G right there. Then we got Ravenclaw here. Almost a little bit of purple. I mean, just the way the stained glass kind of reflects, probably. So you've got the eagle here. You've got the R. And then what I think is pretty clearly the diadem, which would also go on to become a Horcrux of Voldemort. And then we have Slytherin here. And this one, I think, is the one that people are most unsure about. I mean, I feel like just to go with the theme of the others, it's got to be Slytherin's locket. Would be the top of my list. To me, visually, it looks more like the Resurrection Stone. But that would just be kind of... I don't know. From what we know, the Resurrection Stone was a Peveril family thing that Marvolo Gaunt eventually had in his possession, but I don't believe it was a Slytherin thing. The locket, of course, was a Slytherin thing. So, oh, dude, I hadn't even noticed the star yet right there. More astrological patterns. Kellen, glad to catch you live. Hey, Kellen, glad you got a chance to catch a live stream. I know a lot of you guys are tuning in at crazy hours across other countries. I'm here in the U.S., so it's about 8:23 my time right now. I think this is what would later be called the Gaunt Ring. Well, see, that's like, if it's the Gaunt Ring, then it should be the stone. It should be the Resurrection Stone. And I agree with you. Like, visually, I think it looks like that, but to me, it doesn't fit. I think it's most likely going to be the locket. And then some people were saying it looks like an egg. I saw Professor Lynette was saying it looks like an egg, which I could see that too. Maybe it's like a basilisk egg or something. Joseph just noticed it's a tree also, branches and leaves at the top. Oh, wait, let's see. Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, I mean, the artwork that we've seen so far for this game is just downright stunning. I mean, it is just stunning. Now, this, of course, is the window that we see the other side of when we're on the interior of Hogwarts in the sorting ceremony. So, I'm telling you, man, people are going to be spending hours and hours just like walking around this school and finding all these little details. Almost looks like a comet over here, or a fireball. And then this one over here, there's something below on the Gryffindor side too that almost looks like some kind of face. Or I'm sorry, the Hufflepuff side over here. Almost looks like some kind of face. Oh my goodness, you guys. We had Rookwood in here earlier. Now we got Ranrock in the chat. Ranrock, how's it going, my friend? Are you working to get more dark wizards to your cause? So yeah, guys, we thought this was going to be the big news. I mean, I thought we were going to be talking mostly about this tonight. But then we got more news today. So let's jump back here. And we're going to talk more about the delay. We're going to talk more about the date and all that too. But I want to start off here at the beginning, hit all of the big news. Because maybe you've been working all day, you haven't been on social media or anything yet. But we got another big news drop, guys, for Hogwarts Legacy. Well, I guess it's not a news drop yet, but we know there's one coming. We know there's one coming. So Jeff Keighley, don't miss an exclusive new look at Hogwarts Legacy during Gamescom opening night live next Tuesday, August 23rd. Now, for my friends in the U.S., it's not going to be night for you. It's going to be afternoon for us. But it will be night for the folks in Germany, which is where Gamescom is. But streaming live, so here are all the times. This will be my time right here. I am trying to figure out a way to co-stream this, you guys. 2 p.m. is right in the middle of the workday for me. Right in the middle of the workday. So, and I usually have, at my day job, I have a meeting every week on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. So I'm going to try. I mean, if I can't swing it, I'm definitely going to have a reaction video going up very quickly. Yo, David, thank you so much, David, for the donation there. I'll be exploring for all of these secret passageways. So I'm looking for the chamber, trapdoor on the 3rd floor, etc., and more. Dude, Jacob, the chamber, a lot of people want to know if we'll be able to go into the chamber. My prediction is that we will not be able to go into it. But I do think they got to have some sort of like chamber Easter egg, right? I mean, they have to have an Easter egg for the Chamber of Secrets. Because, I mean, you would think we're going to be able to go to that bathroom and we're going to be able to see the spot right where the entrance is. And it should be there. Like the chamber, it would have been built by this time period. You know, Salazar Slytherin way, way, way before this. So it will definitely be there. But David, thank you so much for the support. And I'm going to be right there with you, dude. Right there with you. I mean, honestly, I can't wait. When this game comes out, all of the content that we're going to see. That's why I'm so glad sometimes people come into the chat and they say, hey, I only watch you for Hogwarts Legacy. And while I appreciate the sentiment, I'm like, support the other creators, please. There are so many good Hogwarts Legacy creators. Because when this game drops, guys, when this game comes out, there are going to be so many amazing videos coming out. I mean, you're going to have lore videos. You're going to have guide videos. Dylan with the super chat as well, the $10 super chat. Dylan, thank you so much. We got to get to that question here. But there's going to be so much incredible content when you go from lore, when you go from gameplay tips and strategy, when you go to all the secrets, then you're going to go to all the Easter eggs. Then you're going to have, you're going to have probably like ASMR Hogwarts Legacy videos where somebody's just relaxing in the Gryffindor common room and just monitoring the conversations that may happen during the day in the common room. Hufflepuff common room, Slytherin common room, Ravenclaw, all of them. You know, there's going to be so many different types of these. So it's exciting for sure. But let's see. Dylan's comment here. Did you see Troy Levitt's comment theory on why the game was delayed and how the announcement came about over on Wife Wants a Wizard's video covering the delay? No, I didn't see that, Dylan. I'll have to check that out. We'll have to pull that up here in a bit. It's literally going to be trending all year. We can fly anywhere, right? So we can fly around, on and around the Quidditch pitch. Use your imagination. Potential game of the year. Thought of turning my console to play Hogwarts Legacy for the first time gives me chills. Right, Logan? Right? James, I only go to you for updates. I appreciate it, James. I do. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, there's so many good creators out there. Lots of good Hogwarts stuff. T-Moon, hey, thank you for subbing to the channel, T-Moon. All right, we got to go and let's see if we can find this. I'm going to try to find the comment that Dylan was talking about there. Wife wants a wizard. Oh wait, did Wife Wants a Wizard do a video on the delay? I'm not seeing one. And it's probably not going to let you link it, Dylan, because I think it automatically kicks out the links. Would it have been Wife Wants a Wizard's most recent video, which was about, let's see, a disturbingly... Oh, Wife Wants a Wizard hasn't posted a video in a while, it looks like. Oh, here's one 3 days ago, but it's about the dating scene in Hogwarts Legacy. Ah, here we go. Found it. I think this is the one. See if you can let me know if this is the... Oh, yeah, it'll say dating scene. Gotcha, gotcha. All right, so Wife Wants a Wizard. Hey, speaking of the Hogwarts Legacy creators, here you go. Check out Wife Wants a Wizard. So this was on their video about Hogwarts Legacy, the dating scene, which was just posted a few days ago. But yeah, Troy Levitt with a comment. Oh, we going in deep here. Okay, let's go. I have not seen this. So I'm going to be reacting to this in real time for you guys. All right, so Troy Levitt, catching everybody up who, if you don't know who Troy Levitt is, he previously worked at Avalanche, was there for several years, and was there for a lot of Hogwarts Legacy's development. There's a whole big thing on what happened with him, and video game journalists found some stuff on him from the past and basically tried to ruin the guy. And so he ended up leaving. From everything Troy said, it was nothing to do with WB, that he had some family stuff he needed to take care of. And he's like, you know what? Now's a good time. So he walked away. But this was an inside, he was inside Avalanche at one point. So he would definitely have some knowledge. So he says, I'm no longer an insider to Avalanche, but having worked there from 2003 to 2021, there you go. And having been a part of many game launches, I have some speculations about what happened here. Oh, let's go. All right. First thing to note, Chandler is likely not involved at all in determining press, marketing, or release dates. 1,000% agree with him right here. 1,000%. He's not making decisions on things like this. Rather, he's reacting to them. His job is to communicate the decisions and dates to the community after they've been decided upon. He's the messenger, not the originator. He is not, I think he meant to say he is not in an enviable position to be in. Yeah, basically, the position Chandler's in, not an enviable spot to be in. Although I think he's doing a great job so far. Yeah, I've been saying this for a while, man. When Chandler first took over, it was like people just thought the marketing floodgates were going to be opened. It's like, no. Chandler's likely not involved in the and this is nothing against Chandler, you know. I work in marketing. I mentioned this a couple times. Nothing to do with video games, but I work in marketing, and anytime you have an announcement of anything, you know, it goes to the people that are actually the marketers. They're just going to tell people about it. They're going to spread the word. They're not involved with the actual in most cases, you know. It's not the marketing people who are building the game. They can't say, we're going to need more time. You know, they're not the ones who say that. So I think that's what Troy's getting at here. My guess is that there have likely been discussions about the probability of a delay going on behind the scenes for weeks, if not months. I'm confident that nobody anywhere within WB wanted to delay the release, especially since they're pushing it out of the very lucrative Christmas buying season. On the financial side, there may have been some epic boardroom arguments weighing the pros and cons of a delay versus an on-time holiday release. Ooh, I could see that too, because you know the people who don't understand kind of the nitty-gritty of the game development, they're like, we got to get this out. You know, let's get this out holiday season. On the dev side, a delay also screws up all of their holiday plans as well. Many of them will now have to work long hours over the Thanksgiving and Christmas breaks. Oh, man. Rather than having them off. On the PR, marketing, manufacturing, and distribution sides, they now have all the problems associated with informing the various vendors and buyers and press associates of the delay, too. Yeah, this is why I never put stock into we were all reading the tea leaves on the Hogwarts Legacy art book, you know? It's like, guys, the art book stuff can change at the drop of a hat. With all of these factors previously triangulated on a holiday release, which is likely why we saw all the art book stuff starting to kind of form around that December 3rd. Yo, James coming in with the 1999 Super Chat. James, thank you so much. James, we will get to your question in just a moment. But, dude, thank you so much for supporting the stream, supporting the channel. That is awesome. As soon as I've got your comment. It's highlighted in orange for me here. So as soon as we finish reading this from Troy here, we will answer this. But Troy says, let's see. With all these factors, there would have been a tremendous pressure to just stick to the date and release the game, even if it wasn't, quote, fully ready, close quote, which with the intent to patch out the problems in the weeks and months after the release. Indeed, if WB and the dev team didn't genuinely care, they may have just given into the inertia and released it as good enough to satisfy their targets and obligations. But someone, or more likely a coalition of someones, took a stand and convinced the consensus within the WB organization that delaying the game for qualitative reasons was even more important than all those other things. And I applaud the courage it took to recognize and then champion that position. But even once the Coalition for Quality had convinced the internal organization to delay, a new release date had to be determined. And I'm sure that turned into a whole other big decision-making process. How long of a delay? What's the new release date? And how does the delay impact the 10 million other moving parts involved in bringing a game to market? I don't know for certain, but I bet they didn't settle on the February 10th date until very recently. They probably had weeks of prior discussion over figuring out this date too. I think this is why we didn't get an announcement until now. I heard a while back behind the scenes that the game was probably not going to release this year. I didn't really talk about it much, but that the person who told me that, they really weren't sure how long of a delay it was going to be or anything like that. So I totally see this as the case, and I think the reason Avalanche, people kept saying, well, if that's the case, why wouldn't Avalanche, they should announce it right away. I think they wanted to wait until they had a firm date, is what I think. So my guess is that our new target release date has been known internally by WB and the dev team itself for a very short time themselves, maybe only about a week. Again, that's a guess and not confirmed, but if true, explains a lot. All right, home stretch here. It would mean that Chandler himself may not have known of the new date until earlier this past week. He may have been instructed by his supervisors to scramble together an announcement by Friday. That would have given him precious little time to figure out how best to do that. If so, it would explain the lack of Thursday content in favor of the Friday announcement. Yes, a bigger release date event would have been preferable, but if I'm right that the February 10th date was decided upon recently, the WB team would want to get that word out just as soon as possible. They wouldn't want it to leak out, which it definitely would, as soon as they started telling the vendors and thereby create a bunch of confusion, while they fussed about getting some big new presentation ready just to confirm the new date. How unceremonious would it have been to learn the date next week via a GameStop flyer or something? Hey, Troy, come on now. We need to get our YouTube views up. We wouldn't have complained about that. A quick realignment. No, I prefer it this way too, honestly. Much better this way. A quick realignment of date target is critical, especially since the announced delay is relatively short. WB would want to snap things into clarity for vendors, press, and fans alike. After they decided on a new date, waiting 2 or 3 more weeks to announce it would have come with risks and challenges of its own. In this context, Friday's announcement looks to me like the team handled things as quickly, directly, frankly, and honestly as they could. I think Chandler's little walk and talk on the 4th floor patio was very well done given all this. My take is that Chandler and his community team have all sorts of cool things lined up to show. I bet you get that alleged summer ASMR video this coming week, but that they were forced into reacting to the new date on short notice and hence were forced to reschedule what they originally had planned. In short, I think you'll all be back to salivating over the awesome very soon. Wait, when did he post this? 3 days ago. So that was before we got the big Gamescom news. All right, lots to break down there. Let's get to James's question, though. James, sorry about the delay. Thank you again for the support. Do you think the Deathly Hallows will be in the game? Where do you think they will be hidden? I can see them being part of some tougher challenges post-main story. So, James, I don't know. A couple weeks ago, I would have said probably not. But because of some recent things, starting with, let me pull this back up here because, let me go into my Hogwarts Legacy folder here. Because of this right here, we talked about this on our last live stream, James. This was part of the Autodesk presentation. Now, of course, just in terms of being physical, like existing in the world, absolutely the Deathly Hallows should be out there somewhere, right? It's just a matter of how will they weave into the story. Will they weave into the story? Will it be more like an Easter egg kind of thing? Will it be something we only hear rumors about or hear students talking about? Or will it actually factor into the story? I think that's the big question. So this right here, we still aren't 100% sure what the MCMBH means. Could mean something, character mannequin, mannequin bust, something to do with that. But the fact that the term Deathly Hallows appears in their file names, to me, at the very least says we're getting Deathly Hallows Easter eggs. So like something about a hint of a very powerful wand, or the Resurrection Stone, or even if it's just something as simple as the Deathly Hallows emblem that we can get for our clothing. So I think they will at least be in the game from that point of view. In terms of actually being able to get and use them, that would be more complicated. It'd be awesome. But given that those play such a key role, because I think we could probably figure out where most of them should be. I would have to kind of look at the Harry Potter lexicon and Harry Potter wiki and read up on some things. But I think we could figure out where they should be at the time period, or at least where they could potentially be given the time period. Because the Peverell brothers were actually, for some reason in my mind, I always think about them being like way back with Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin, but they actually came much later. I can't even remember what I was reading up on this past week. It was relating to this right here. It was relating to this picture and trying to figure out these different magical items here. So I would say there's a pretty high chance that the Deathly Hallows are at least mentioned in the game. And I don't know, I'll say maybe like a 25% chance that they factor into the story somehow. That's what I'll go with, James. All right. Dylan had to hop out. Hey, Dylan, thanks for stopping by. And thanks for pointing out that article to me. Or not article, but Troy's comment there as well. Appreciate it. Johnny Steak, you subscribed as well. Johnny, thank you so much. Apologies if I missed that. 10:42 a.m. for Mighty Destroyer. Nice. Clue viewer, welcome back, Clue. I would imagine they are mentioned as an Easter egg because them actually playing into the story could easily interfere with the canon. Yeah, that's the thing, Maddie, right? That's why I never thought Dumbledore would play a huge role, and why I thought they would kind of stay away from some of the bigger name characters. It's because it's like, then you really start to get into the canon stuff of like affecting what we know. So they chose a time period. I mean, they've even talked about they chose it for that specific reason, so they would have some freedom to explore in terms of, building in this world, building their own storylines within this world. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, James. Thank you. So this, all this stuff from Troy here is very interesting as someone who, regardless of how much you think he knows or how you feel about Troy or whatever. I mean, the fact is he was at Avalanche for a long time and he knows that side of game development. What did you guys think about the actual announcement of the delay? Brandon subscribing as well. Brandon, welcome. Because I saw some people on Reddit kind of complaining that sort of what Troy was kind of alluding to there, that it felt like very scrapped together and was like, come on, that's it. You just walk out. And then I saw other people saying like, oh, I loved, I thought this was very like warm and personal and not just the corporate, the black square with the white text of like, the game has been delayed. Our new release date is, because on one hand, it is exciting that we're getting a firm date. Like that part is exciting. Let's see what some of the comments here. Got your money's worth out of that comment. That's funny. More Poet says, I really don't want the Deathly Hallows in the game. I think the character model thing is just an emblem to display that you're a seeker, like Lovegood said in the books. Yeah, because he had the little necklace, right? Deathly Hallows were created in 13th century. Yeah, Deathly Hallows were... Oh, yeah, so 13th century. But then Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin lived like medieval times, I want to say. Let's see. Godric Gryffindor dates. Yeah, 993. is what it said. Pre-976. So they were like way... See, I like in my head when I read Tale of the Three Brothers, I always just like... It always felt like that was a... You know, even further back than it really was. Delay is a part of business, whether that's video games or, for example, construction. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, apologies, guys. I'm not sure. I'm seeing a couple of comments that are getting, like, retracted. I'm not sure what's going on there. There's a couple of auto... It'll always... If you're trying to post a link, it won't let you post a link. And then there are some words that it won't let you post as well. So just maybe try to reword it, or if it's a link, you might just want to... just kind of tell me where it is instead of posting the exact link. Hope the NPCs feel alive like real people, kind of like how Red Dead Redemption 2 NPCs behave. Easy to say the game is in a good place, so no one should be worried by 2 months. Right, yeah, they were pre-Merlin, which is just like insane to think about. Hey, Jon Snow, welcome. Hints of the Holy Grail appearing in the game. I feel like I remember reading something about that. Maybe on the Harry Potter game subreddit. We got the Nose of Sauron. Dude, we got the Nose of Sauron in here. We got Ranrock was in here earlier. Rookwood was in here earlier. Now we got Jon Snow in here as well. Oh, we had Zachary Morris in here. Where's Frodo? Where's Frodo Baggins? Opinion on the Merlin Morgana theory. It's fun. I think it's a fun theory. I think it makes a lot of sense. But then there's also part of me that says we've had so much time on our hands. And I love James Expecto Go. He's the one who, I shouldn't say he's the one who started it. I feel like he's where I first heard somebody really driving in on the Merlin and Morgana theory. Maybe he was the one who started it, but I don't know. Like with Merlin, I feel more confident about Merlin because we have confirmation that there are at least puzzles from Merlin in the game. We know that 100% sure. You know, we know that there are puzzles of Merlin in the game. We also know that Merlin, his name appears on the stained glass in Professor Binns' classroom, History of Magic. So that one, I feel a little more confident that Merlin is going to have some role in the game. The question is, how big is the role and does it play a major part in the story? The Morgana stuff, I'm not nearly as sold on. Not nearly as sold on that. Frodo's Nightly Nerd, what's up? Frodo in the Hufflepuff common room. I mean, that makes sense for Frodo to want to go to the Hufflepuff common room for sure. Jordan, considering the game was developed mostly during the previous generation's time, safe to assume the game will run okay on PS4 and Xbox. That's like the $1 million question. Well, I guess the $1 million question would more be like what the Switch version is going to look like. I would think so, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's something about, if it says more about the PS4 and that generation, or if it says more about the current generation that we're in, but PS4 and Xbox One, you know, those were so close to getting like the architecture. I'm not saying they were as powerful as gaming PCs, but like the architecture was so close to being like PCs now. So I feel like developers have a much better handle now of being able to scale games. And I mean, now we're seeing games developed across, like Spider-Man, for example. Big Bang Theory, Shelder, thank you for the sub. We're seeing like Spider-Man, for example. It was on PS4, it was on PS5, and then they just brought it out for PC as well. So, you know, it ran the gamut in terms of being on all this different. Now, that game came as a result of several years, and, you know, it started the PS4, and then they had time to upgrade that one for the PS5, and then they've upgraded that on the PC. So, yeah, I would think the PS4 and Xbox One versions will run fine. The big question is going to be how will it run on Switch, I think, because a lot of people are still wanting to know what's going on with that version. Because they didn't announce the date for it. And from what I've heard, Nintendo typically takes longer than the others to, I don't know, some sort of certification process that the games go through when it when it comes to, sending the final digital version for like to go on the digital store and everything. So I don't know. I don't know if this means the Switch version is having problems or if it's just more of like a Nintendo side of things, I think. So that much remains to be seen. But yeah, the Switch one, I really want to find out more about that. Like if I was advising people right now which one to get, if you have a PS5 or Series X, I would probably lean that way. If you have a gaming PC, of course, that's going to be an option too. The thing about that, if you have the option of both, like if you have a PS5, an Xbox Series X, or an Xbox Series X, or a gaming PC, that one you'll really want to kind of pay attention as the game gets closer to see how it's performing on all three of them. Because there have been some weird surprises. Like a lot of people online and in comments, they'll just say, oh, PC is going to be way better, of course. The correct way of saying that is the PC version should run the best. But as we have seen, and I know this because I heard that for years, and then one day I built a gaming PC, and then I started to see, oh, yeah, it's pretty awesome most of the time, but there's a lot of little things that can go wrong too. And then you have games come out like Elden Ring, which I have no idea what state Elden Ring is in now on the PC. But Digital Foundry, if you want to look into stuff like this, Digital Foundry, they're the go-to for this. They do a great job. But they actually recommended the Xbox Series X version of Elden Ring over the PC version. And that's like top of the line PC version. And that it wasn't because PC bad. It was because the Elden Ring wasn't as optimized for the PC as it was for the consoles. It didn't run as well. It had more, I think it was stuttering or something. And the reason they recommended the Xbox Series X over the PS5 is because PS5 did not have VRR yet. So I know we're getting way technical now. But now PS5 has VRR, so it's more on par. And I have no idea what's happened with the PC version of Elden Ring. If they solved all that over time, you would think they will. But in terms of like launch, that best experience, if you're somebody who has the means to get any of those, then I would kind of wait and see. Console though, PS5 is going to have the DualSense features. Even as a PS5 owner, I'm not an Xbox guy, but even as a PS5 owner, that's not enough of a reason, I don't think. So I would say, PS5 or Xbox Series X, I would probably rate right up there with PC until we know more about how the game runs. Then I would say PS4. Then I would say Xbox One. And then I would say on Switch, I just have no idea. Steam Deck might be an interesting case study as well. But we just don't know anything about Steam Deck or Switch at this point. Like if it will be optimized for Steam Deck, how well it's going to run on Steam Deck, we don't know any of that. The Switch one, because if the Switch one, if it just runs like decent, it doesn't even have to have all the bells and whistles of the other ones. The biggest advantage of the Switch is the portability, right? It's the portability, and it's like the most affordable console. And one thing I want to point out here is they did not put Xbox Series S on here. I don't know if it was just a rush thing and they forgot, but they did confirm on Twitter that Xbox Series S will be included within the release for all these. So that was not I don't think it was intentional for them to leave the Series S version off. So I would probably even recommend the Series S version over the Switch at this point, just because we just don't know. We just don't know. And to be fair, we don't know how it's going to run across any of these platforms right now. So Classic says, coming from an Xbox Series X user, 100% the PS5 will have the best experience in my opinion. Been a PC gamer my entire life. I can't use a controller to save my life. Really? That's fascinating, Poet. Why would anyone want to play a game like Hogwarts Legacy on Switch? Can Switch even support this? There's a really interesting thing, Tater, with Hogwarts Legacy. I have seen, I don't know that I would say, I'd feel comfortable saying a lot. Podcast Now and I talked about this. I was on Alex's live stream, I guess like a week or so ago now. And we talked about this. Hogwarts Legacy is in a really interesting spot because there are a lot of people who are saying that they don't normally play games. but they were fans of Harry Potter growing up, and this was a game they'd always dreamed of and they'd always imagined. And they want to get into, they want to buy this game, even though they're not big gamers. And so that, I feel like, is where we're getting a lot of the Switch questions, because people are like, and I mean, Switch is an incredibly dominant console in terms of the sales numbers. Jon Snow rules, yo, with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jon Snow. I think this will be the beginning of something big. Dude, I hope so. I hope so. I saw a question earlier about how do I think Hogwarts Legacy will end. I think they meant like story-wise. However it ends, I hope they set up for a second game. I hope they set up for a second game. I really do. That is my hope. In terms of story, I mean, I think we'll have some sort of resolution to the Goblin and the Goblin Rebellion, like that conflict, and the conflict with the magical creatures, some sort of resolution to that. And then I think there's something, I mean, the ancient magic stuff, we'll definitely get some kind of resolution to that, but that one to me feels big enough. I mean, that feels like that's going to be the core plot of this game, is this ancient magic that Ranrock and who knows how many other potential wizards or other beings are after this power. We just don't know yet. This game will sell consoles, right? Exactly. I think Sony probably recognized that, and that's probably why they wanted the marketing exclusivity for it. What do they do for the sequels, Jared? I think the sequel would set up for a year 6. So we're year 5 in this game. I do not think it's going to be more than 1 year. I think it's going to take place over 1 school year and set up for a potential year 6. And then if they want to, I mean, they've set it up perfectly for a trilogy, because then they could do year 7. And if you deliver 3 incredible games, like, we're getting way ahead of ourselves now. They've got to get the first one out. It's got to be well received. It's going to sell well. It's got to be well received to sell even more, because they're going to get that initial sales, no doubt. But if the game bombs and everybody's like, it kind of sucks, then it's not going to get that, snowball effect. Like more and more people hearing about it, more and more people talking about it. But if it's a solid game, and I'm not saying like it needs to be a 9 or 10. I'm saying if it's like a solid 7 or 8, to me, that's going to warrant a sequel. And that's going to get a lot of excited Harry Potter fans playing it and wanting another one. So I think it would set up for year 6, year 7. And then my dream game after if this delivers, my next idea for a dream like Harry Potter game would be like you're in your wizarding career at that point. You're like, I know a lot of people want an MMO. I think that'd be an interesting route to explore. But I want to be an RR, man. I want us to, like, could you imagine the type of game you could build around having it doesn't even have to be the character in Hogwarts Legacy. It could be a completely, like, just new wizard you introduce that is, like, working in the RR office. And, I don't know, set it wherever you want. Set it way after Harry Potter, when Harry Potter's long gone, or set it before, set it after Hogwarts Legacy if you want. But then anything they do after, like, because like if they go to year 7, then you got to bring Dumbledore. Then Dumbledore has to get into the story. And when you bring Dumbledore into the story, well, now all of a sudden you're treading on you have to be very, very careful at that point, because you're dealing with a major character who is involved in all of the mainline Harry Potter books, obviously. And then he's heavily involved in Fantastic Beasts. So all of the Harry Potter media going right now, I guess with the exception of Cursed Child, Dumbledore plays like a major role in. And I mean, I guess he's got somewhat of a role in Cursed Child too, but definitely a huge role in Fantastic Beasts. Don't know what to get it on. Xbox Series X or PC. What do you think is the best choice? See, that's the one I think we just don't know yet. Like, the PC people would yell at me. Like, in my mind, I feel like console is going to be the safer choice right there. Guess who? I feel like your Xbox would be the safer choice. But really, there's no reason to make a choice yet. I mean, if you want to pre-order it, fine. I'm not one of those people who says do not pre-order anything. I haven't even pre-ordered the game yet myself because I'm waiting to see if there's going to be a collector's edition. I would pre-order for that. But otherwise, I mean, if you feel like there's no reason to pre-order, then don't pre-order. Mr. Vet, hey, thank you for the sub, Mr. Vet. Appreciate it. Retro Elite Gamer with the sub as well. Retro, I like your name, dude. I like your name. Thanks for the sub. But yeah, I would lean toward Xbox unless you hear, as the game gets closer and you see somebody like Digital Foundry do the breakdown and they're like, the PC version just runs incredible and the Series X version is not that great. It also depends on where you, I know some people play like, this is one thing a lot of people don't think about in this discussion. Think about your monitor and your TV. Like some people play at their desk. They have their console set up, plugged into the same monitor that your PC's plugged up into. For you, it's not a big deal. But if your console's plugged up into a TV and then your PC's plugged up into a monitor, well, your monitor makes a big difference too. Like I'm running into a big thing now where like I finally saved up and got myself an OLED TV. Wanted an OLED TV for years, and I got an OLED TV. And so now, like, I used to hook my PS5 up to my monitor here, but my monitor's like a 1080 24-inch monitor. I'm like, oh, I tried playing Ratchet and Clank on here the other day, and it just looks so bad compared to my 4K TV right there. So, and I know the PC will be saying, well, you could plug in your, plug it in there. But yeah, then I got to run the wire all the way over there. It's just, it's a whole big thing. But yeah, I would just keep an eye out for Digital Foundry and stuff like that as it gets closer. D. Jane, thank you so much for the super chat, D. Jane. What are your thoughts on being an animagus in the game? I mean, my thoughts on it would be that I would love it. I just can't see how they could pull it off, though, because unless there was like a set animal, and then that would just make people mad, wouldn't it? Like, if there was a set animal that it's like, okay, this is the animal that our character, everybody should, even though everybody's like their own character, they can make their character look like whatever they want, sound like whatever they want, but the animagus has to be the same for everybody. That's the only way I think they could pull it off. Maybe if they had it where you could like choose between 2 or 3, but, and then even then people would just get upset. And the reason I think it would be so hard is because when you turn into an animal, well, all of a sudden you have so many different abilities. So that would really, I mean, they would have to have gameplay sections designed for you being able to traverse. And then they're like, if you can just turn into an eagle, well, then you're going to be able to completely skip over some obstacles that other people would have to take on. So the only way I could see it happening is if they actually just picked one animal. But I would say pretty low, sadly. Yo, Nico with the super chat. PC version opens the door to modding. Yes. That is a big one in the PC's cap right there. If you were at all interested in the potential for mods, then PC's really... Actually, I remember Xbox doing something with mods a few years ago. I don't know if that ever took off or not. I'm not an Xbox guy, so I have no idea like how difficult it was to get set up or anything. But, but yeah, if you are at all interested in that, then PC is obviously the way to go. And the potential for mods in this game, oh my god! I mean, they're through the roof. They're through the roof. They're going to be mods. People always say, "I hope Avalanche will support mods." Like, they don't have to support it. They will be mods now. If they're smart and if they do support it, then the mod should be even better. Like if they really embrace the modding community, as we've seen, other games do, and really goes a long way in helping them out, I think that would be great. But they also might want to leave things open for the sequel, But dude, thank you so much for the super chat, supporting the channel. Both of you, those recent super chats, very much appreciated. I saw somebody asking about a theory. Wife wants a wizard's dog theory. I haven't seen that theory. Anybody want to try to sum it up? America, the official release date is February 10th, 2023. DLC for the game. Greg Russell asking, do I think they'll release DLC? I think if the game sells well enough and they have a good launch, yes. I think they all but confirmed they are wanting to do DLC in the PlayStation blog post. I mean, they all but said it. They said they wanted to do more in this world. So I definitely think so, if it does well. Same goes for Patronus. Can we choose? Do we get a random one? Everyone have the same one? Yeah, that's a good point too. The thing about the Patronus, though, is I do feel like they could have more animals because there's one purpose of a Patronus, you know? So it would just be a matter of programming the animations. That's not really going to affect gameplay as much, right? Because the Patronus is a very specific use case. You use it to fend off Dementors. So it's not like, and I guess you could, you know, we saw them in Deathly Hallows and other Harry Potter books start to use it to send messages. Patronuses can be used to send messages. I don't think they would use that for this game. Maybe they would. I don't know. But again, it's like it's a very specific task. Whereas like if I'm at a challenge where there's a body of water and I have to like solve this puzzle to get through it, well, if I'm an animagus and I could just transform into an eagle, well, then I could just fly right over, right? Or if you could transform into some water creature. So, but Patronus, because we did see Dementors in the game. So if, in that first trailer, although they didn't show any in the second trailer. Speaking of trailers, though, see, this is what happens. You guys always ask such good questions. I could just like start answering all the questions and we just have a good time that way. But I want to make sure we talk about the other big news, guys. And we talked about it a little bit, but I said, speaking of trailers, we got to talk about this Gamescom thing, man. What do you guys think we're going to see? Because let me go right here to Chandler Wood's Twitter account here, because Chandler's been dropping some, not even really hints, basically just like trying to be as forthcoming as he can. So I want to go to, first let's go to this one right here. So this was from today. He said 1 week, excited for you all to see what we've been cooking up. So he talks about he shared Jeff Keighley's post. Now there have been another couple of posts from Chandler recently. I'll tell you what I think it's going to be. Let me scroll through here. And I haven't seen anybody talk about this. So he had this one, not this. I'll get to the other part in a second. What I haven't seen anybody talking about. But he says, today is a huge day getting to reveal the release date. However, this still isn't the cool stuff to show you later this summer I mentioned earlier this year. Lots more to come. Lots more to come, guys.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Stefan Tias. Hey, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Welcome. So lots more, dude. I think we're going to get, I'll say I'm shocked by the Gamescom thing because I thought that it was only, I was expecting it was going to have to be at a PlayStation event just because everywhere we've seen Hogwarts Legacy so far, it's been at a big PlayStation event. So this one's a little bit surprising to me, a pleasant surprise, but it's a little bit of a surprise. So I think we're still going to get Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, obviously this one's confirmed for Gamescom, but I still think we're going to get it at whatever Sony's next big event is this year too. And I think whenever they finally announce the collector's editions, I think we'll get a big PlayStation blog post. I would hope so anyway. A big post about that. But in terms of what I specifically think we're going to see, let me keep scrolling back. So it could be a little trailer. Could be a long trailer with gameplay. Maybe is it a gameplay demo? Are they actually going to walk us through the mission? Let me know most. Ooh, I always forget to do a poll. I'm going to do a poll right now. This is super fun. Let's do a poll right now. So what would you most like to see from Hogwarts Legacy at Gamescom? All right, so first option would be, let's see, the character creator. The second one would be combat breakdown. I'm going to say story trailer. And then what's one more we could say? Character. So character creator. That's a thing a lot of people want to see. Combat breakdown, story trailer. Ooh, here's a good one. Class explanation. Or how should I word this? Explanation. Or I'm just going to say how classes work. Or classes breakdown. So what I mean by classes breakdown is like how exactly they're going to how does the timing in the game work, right? How does all that work? All right, let's see how this works. Ask your community. All right, there you go, guys. You can vote in the poll there. Vote in the poll. Let's see what you guys think. Because here's what I think. This is just my guess, and I haven't had a lot of time to think about it yet. But if you remember back after the Autodesk session, Chandler posted about the Abraham Ronin. Oh, wait, here's the one where he... Okay, so I went back too far. This is the one where he said, I've seen some excitement around our Autodesk session, set expectations. Okay, so then it should be shortly after this, then. Let's see. Chandler. Dude, where was the post? I must have just been talking as I was scrolling. Here it is. Okay, yeah. So this was after the Autodesk. He says, looks like some of you caught a few new tidbits in our Autodesk presentation. Yes, our charms professor is Abraham Ronin, and as many of you guessed, he's indeed a Slytherin. But then, after that, this is the thing I haven't seen anybody bring back up yet. The Autodesk presentation gave you a glimpse of our character creator. We are planning to go into more detail on it later, including showing that mysterious final tab. I wonder if this is the focus of the Gamescom segment. Is the character creator going to be the focus? Or are they going to show us, like, maybe it starts with a brief look at the character creator, and then it goes into an actual gameplay section? Because I almost put as one of the options in the poll to see a mission, but then I knew everybody would pick that. Because that would show so much, right? I mean, that would be my number one thing, is if we could see a mission from, not start to finish, because you wouldn't want to give away everything, but just like a few brief moments of a mission, like maybe our character accepting a mission, and then it cuts to us like going out and doing, whatever that mission is. And then it cuts to us returning to the character, completing the mission or whatever. Oh my goodness, you guys they're close. 33% right now saying classes breakdown. 22%. And dude, the three-way tie right now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're at 113 likes, by the way, guys. If you're checking out the stream and having a good time and you have not yet hit that thumbs up button, go ahead and hit that now. That'll help more people find this live stream who might be interested in Hogwarts Legacy, might be interested in hanging out with us, checking out the channel. So, yeah, it's like right now it's 33% of you are saying classes breakdown. 22% are saying story trailer. 22% combat trailer. 22% character creator. Okay, character creator just got a slight bump up to 23%. But wow, what would you most like to see? I'm going to screenshot this and send it to Chandler and be like, well, you can't please everybody unless you're showing all four of these things. I think if I had to pick, oh man, which two would I pick? Or what would be my number one thing I'd want to see if I had to choose between these? Character creator, I don't care about that nearly as much as everyone else seems to. I mean, I don't care, whatever. I'll play as any character. I don't even care if it looks like me, It doesn't have to look like me. It doesn't have to sound like me. As long as I can be a student in Hogwarts, whatever. Tall, short, dark hair, no hair. It's all good with me. So that one I'm not as concerned about. Combat breakdown. I'm going to say that one for now. Story trailer. I'm torn on that one because I really don't want to see much more of the story. I don't want to see that much more of the story, you know? I mean, that's the kind of thing that, keep it under wraps. There's no need. Mewstore says, I want to see a story trailer. Yeah, I mean, I would enjoy seeing it, but they just got to be careful with story. Like, don't give away too much, you know? Don't give away too much. Right now, we're still asking so many questions about the story, which I think is good. I think that's healthy to have, like, for us to be curious about it. If we have all the answers, you know, that's no fun. Classes breakdown. I think I agree with you guys, too. That one's at the top of my list. So if I had, I would have to pick between combat and between classes. Oh, man, that's tough. That's tough. I'm going to say, if I had to pick just one, I think I would say the classes. Because that, to me, would help us figure out the structure of the game. Because that's going to be such a crucial part, right? Like, that will be such a crucial part of how the game is going to methodically play out, you know? Like what the day-to-day at Hogwarts is like. That's going to be fascinating. Frustrated player. So the songs playing are from a no copyright. I'll post I posted it earlier in the chat. I'll share it again here. It's just a YouTube. It's called Celtic Medieval Tavern Music. Non-copyright. Volume 3. Here you go. Unsung Hero would love to see character creation. Forbidden Forest gameplay. Oh, that'd be awesome. Is Subs missed the beginning of the stream? How do you feel about the game not releasing until fall winter? Yeah, we did talk about that at the beginning. I agree it would have been a fantastic time to release, but I think the reasoning is sound, and I think, I mean, if it results in a better game, then I think it's worth it. It's not a huge delay, you know. It's roughly 2 months. I think most thought it was going to release early December, so now we go January, February. So 2 months, not too bad. If it gets pushed beyond that, then I think that's going to start to open up a lot more troublesome questions, I think. All right, I'll give it another couple minutes on the poll, guys. If you haven't had a chance to vote in it, go ahead and vote in it now. What would you most like to see from Hogwarts Legacy at Gamescom? If you are just getting in for the night and you haven't checked up on the news today, guys, we got confirmation that Hogwarts Legacy will have a presence at Gamescom. I did see a chat question earlier, and I saw it and didn't get a chance to answer it, but somebody was asking about when is the announcement supposed to happen. We don't know. That's the thing about these shows. I think it's scheduled to be a... Let me see if Jeff Keighley actually posted. Let's see if he posted about what the... I think it's a 2-hour show. And if it's a 2-hour show, we have no idea. Yeah, 2 hours. So here it is, guys. So it's 2-hour live show, thousands of fans and audience, 30 plus games on stage. So that right there should tell us something, right? If there's 30 plus games on stage, and if you guys have ever watched any of these Keighley events before, you know, it's not just going to be nonstop games as much as we would like for it to be. It's not going to be nonstop games. You know, they're going to have other segments. They're going to have things going on in between. They're going to be ads. Just the nature of the beast, right? So 30 plus games over the course of about 2 hours. Ooh, that kind of limits things a bit. So I think it's going to be a trailer. I think it's going to be a new trailer is my prediction. And maybe we get to see some of those things that we talked about. It's very calming. I know, right? I'm loving it. I kind of switched it up tonight because I normally use there's like a Spotify playlist, the Harris Heller Spotify playlist, but I was like, man, we need something to fit the fantasy vibe here. Maddie feels like classes are going to be set quests that you can start at any moment and it just skips to the appropriate time, like in Red Dead 2. Could be. High IQ Warrior. I did see that. I know you were asking somebody else. I did see that. I haven't had a chance to really... I don't even know if they've officially said like what all that's about yet, because it kind of sounded like a VR thing, and then somebody was saying no, it's probably more like going to those mobile things. If you want combat, are you expecting an entire button layout too, with classes wanting them to reveal the day cycle? Yeah, like the day-night cycle, and then how we... Because I feel like that's one thing they really need to clarify, because a lot of people excited about this game are getting it in their minds of how classes are going to be. And I've seen a lot of people convinced it's going to be one way, and a lot of people convinced it's going to be another way, and a lot of people convinced it's going to be another way. And I think I think it's better to go ahead and kind of rip off the Band-Aid, so to speak, and show people, no, okay, this is how it's going to be set up. Because as I've talked about on this live show and in my videos and stuff before, you know, it can't just be Monday at 8 a.m. you have Charms class, and at 12:30 you have Defense Against the Dark Arts. I mean, that would be too tedious, like to where you have to remember, oh my gosh, we got Charms coming up, and then this day I've got this class. I mean, it'd be like managing classes in the real world. But some people say they want that. I don't think it's going to be that, though. I think they're going to have to simplify it in some way, whether it's like something like what Persona does, or I know a lot of people talk about Bully as being a good example, but I don't know if Bully would work for it. All right, let's see where did the poll end up here. About the same. So 33%. I'm going to go ahead and end. Actually, you know what? I'm going to screenshot this first, so I can take a look at that later. But yeah, 33% said classes breakdown is what they would most want to see. 21% say story trailer. 23% combat breakdown. 23% character creator. Nice. Thank you guys for voting in the poll. There you go. There's the poll completion. Good night, Ellie. Thanks for hanging out. All right, I want to go back up. Man, see, you guys just asked so many good questions that I see them, and then like I make a mental note to go back to them, but then by the time I'm ready to go back to it, there's like another good question that's been asked. Somebody asked about pre-orders. Yog, pre-orders are already open, at least in the US. You can go to Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop right now and pre-order the game. I'd love to see collector's edition announcements, though. I think that'd be awesome. But this doesn't feel like a collector's edition setting for me. Tater, thank you so much for the super chat. Very much appreciated, Tater. Appreciate your support of the stream and the channel. Feel like classes will be like mini games quests. Yeah, I think that's what somebody else was saying. Like, so like your Charms class will be like your quest for the day, which is sort of similar to how the old games handled it. They kind of did a little, you know, you had this whole little challenge area that you would go into. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a challenge area. I think it'll be more... I mean, they'll have to do something that like teaches you the application of the spell. And we've already seen that one little area where, because we're a 5th year, it's like we're going to need the extra time or whatever. And I think it's Professor Ronan is standing there by us right in front of the gamekeeper's hut. But again, I don't know if that's just like an extracurricular thing or if that's the class and we're like having Charms outside for the day. I don't know. Retro, have you heard of the leak that Hogwarts Legacy covers years 5 through 7 and 2 years as an aura? I say no way. I say no way. I feel like I do remember seeing that, but I mean that would just be so... Yeah, I that's not happening in my opinion. I mean, I feel like that would be that's like 4 games right there. I feel like. Unless the timing is just like really, really sped up, you know, to where it's like 5 hours of gameplay is like half a year of school or something, you know. Oh, that might have been you mentioning collector's edition stuff. Yeah, Mary Studios. Hey, Mary, I just saw your name pop up. Good to see you again. Glad you're able to stop by and hang out. Yeah, classes. That I kind of agonized over it for a bit, but that's the one that I would pick too. Isn't the event 4 days? It might be multiple days, but I think that Keeley has confirmed Hogwarts is in the 2-hour live show of the opening night. I think. Zachary Morris with the $9.99 super chat. Dude, thank you so much for your support of the channel. Man, you guys are going crazy with the super chats tonight. That is very much appreciated. Zachary says, I think there will be some main story classes, but you'll be part of a special curriculum designed to help you catch up. Yeah, right. That's what they say in the trailer. Yeah. Be part of a special curriculum designed to help you catch up to the other fifth years. This tells us most of the classwork will be side quests. Ah, okay. So I think there will be some main story classes. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because when I was talking with Alex at Podcast Now, he was kind of under the impression, his take is that some of them will be optional. So it's like, if you just choose like, you know what, I'm not going to go to potions, then you're not going to get to learn this specific potion. Or you can get it in another way. Like maybe you can go and you go to the shop and you have to buy it, or you have to like, I don't know, convince another student to make it for you or something. I don't know that's going to be like that. I mean, like you said, some of them are going to be, they have to be required. They're cutscenes. They're not going to put a ton of cutscenes in the game for completely optional things. But at the same time, they're also not going to be able to put a cutscene in for every single time you walk into the Charms classroom to take a Charms class. So yeah, Zachary, it's a good point about the special curriculum. So they're going to have to balance that special curriculum with, I feel like, you know what, that's a good point. I feel like the special curriculum, that could be the thing that you go and do anytime. And that might be what you were getting at there. Like that's the thing that's like, it's just open. You want to go practice. Here's where you can go practice, brush up on your skills. I like that. And then you have certain classes that are part of the storyline that you go and take. Machop wants to see the Ravenclaw companion, right? Yeah. I really want to see the Ravenclaw companion too. Like, is that one, I figure out why exactly were they keeping that one under wraps, you know? Is it just so they have something else to show, or is there a story reason, right? Want a 10-minute ASMR video walking around the school, no comment. Yeah, could you imagine? And it's interesting in that big reply that we read from Troy, it sounded, and again, he's not in Avalanche anymore, so perhaps it sounded like he was just guessing, but it sounds like he thinks the a summer ASMR video is very likely. Which I feel like that one is just, I mean, that's got to be about to drop soon, right? Or maybe they're saving that for when they know they're going to have like a lull of not really any big news. I mean, because the ASMR thing, that's something. But if they drop the summer, I mean, we're getting close to the end of summer, you know? And if they have a summer ASMR, that's really going to make me rethink seasons and how. Because, like, if there's a summer in the game, well, I guess that would make sense because August, September, a little bit of September is still summer, and you start Hogwarts September 1st. But then if you get to the end of the year, it would have to be more than a year, or they're only going to have like a few weeks of summer, you know? But it's going to be all about how they choose to progress the story, you know? They control how fast the days go, you know? It's not going to be a real world clock. Coconut Head, gotta head out. Hey, Coconut, thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Dude, it amazes me how fast these go by. We've already been going an hour and a half. I usually only say, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for about 2 hours, and then it's like 2.5 hours when I finally realize. Mary wants to know if we're only having 4 companions or if we're getting more. Yeah, I want to know that too. Ethan, good question. So I'm working on, I'm starting kind of like a weekly email newsletter blog type thing. things that like don't really fit into videos and are probably too long for Twitter. Hey, Ethan, thank you for the sub as well. Appreciate it. And that's one thing that I'm working on right now. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitter at RetroRaconteur, follow me there and keep an eye out for that newsletter. But I'll give you guys a preview of it now since you're here. I don't think it was anything to do with marketing. I don't think it was anything to do with avoiding God of War. I don't think they would have released the same day as God of War or even the same week or two of God of War, just because it's, you know, it's not good business sense. But releasing 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you know, a month later, nah, that's totally fine. The audience, yes, it has a very similar audience to God of War, but it also has a different enough audience to stand on its own. I don't think that had anything to do with it. My source that I talked to, who told me several weeks ago that things were heading in this direction, they said it's just a matter of Avalanche kind of overestimated what they could do, and in terms of QA, quality assurance, bug fixing. So they are very much in that stage right now, guys. They're very much in that phase. I saw somebody earlier, and I totally meant to reply to this and didn't, but I think it was before we even officially went live. They were asking about now maybe this means that they're going to add, oh gosh, what was it? Quidditch or multiplayer or some big thing that, or another year or career or something. I don't think it's to add anything. I mean, 2 months is not enough time to add something, guys. 2 months is enough time for us to make sure what we've got is in a top-notch state. That's what that is. I mean, if you're going to add a bunch of stuff, that's like a 1 year delay. So way back when we got the initial delay that pushed it to 2020. Wait, hold on. I'm getting my days mixed up now. When we had the delay that pushed it to 2022, maybe then they decided to add some stuff in. But not now. No, they're very much, from what I understand, I mean, from what they've said publicly, from what I've heard, from talking to my source, I mean, I think they're very much in the home stretch. They are squashing bugs. They're wanting everything to run as solid as it can run. And I think that's what they're doing. I think this is purely for a polishing, and I'm only going to mention it. I'm only going to say the name of this game one time this stream, but I think it's to avoid a cyberpunk situation. There, I'm not going to bring it up again. But I do think that's I think that's mostly what the delay is. Yeah. David, hey, good night, David. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Scarlett got a head out as well. Scarlett, thank you for hanging out as well. Oh, somebody said Poet made a really great point. Let's see. Our character is the reason the OWLs start. Ooh. Yeah, we know that OWLs are supposed to be 5th year. Don't say that word right. Yeah, I'm so... When Hogwarts Legacy got delayed the first time, I made a video about it because it's like so many comments are like talking about it. And I was just sick of it. But after talking with this person behind the scenes and just, you know, reading the industry, it's clear it's had an effect on the industry. I mean, I don't think anybody can deny that at this point. As much as it pains me to talk about and bring up, I mean, the fact that there were when there are lawsuits, I mean, because that's when it's one thing if it's just like a big social media uproar that quiets down after a while, right? But it's another thing when these companies when the money starts getting affected. And CD Projekt Red, they ended up settling. I was looking into this the past week. They ended up settling that lawsuit for, I mean, to us, what would be a huge amount, but a very paltry amount for a company of their size. I think it was like $1.85 million. Don't quote me on that, but it was less than $2 million that they settled all of those lawsuits for, which for them is like a drop in the bucket, basically. But it also really hurt their stock price. And I looked into their stock price as well, which has not recovered. Now, there are a lot of other things going on with economies across the world that I'm I am not a financial guru. I don't even pretend to understand. But from what I know, the botched launch of that game, the game that must not be named. There we go. That's what I'm going to start calling it. That's what I'm going to start calling it, Poet. The game that must not be named. So, the game that must not be named definitely affected their stock price. No doubt. So, yeah, when the money starts getting hit, other game companies are going to start to pay attention. And so, I think that was a wake-up call for a lot of folks. A lot of folks. White Wolf says, I really think they just knew they couldn't make it by December, so they had to push it all the way to February. That is another, yes, White Wolf, I'm so glad you said that, because that is such a great point. I mean, initially, when they first announced Holiday, all the way back in March, I mean, Holiday, that is basically like a 4 to 5 week window, you know, of that Thanksgiving Black Friday time period to about 2 weeks before Christmas. That's it. You're not going to release too close to Christmas because you don't get to take advantage of the whole holiday shopping season. So you're just not going to do that, you know? So that basically blocks off, I would say, from about December. Let's see. Let's look at the calendar for this year. I don't know where everything falls this year. So I would say basically from like December 17th on, December 16th, which is a Friday this year, anything from there on was blocked off. They're not going to do that. And then, like you said, few games release like January, early January. So then you're looking at late January, early February, and then they kind of settled on early February, which I think will also be a good time for them to release. I know December, early December time frame would have been spectacular for them. It would have. I'm not going to deny that. December 6th would have been an incredible launch date. They would have had so much of the attention on them and been able to take advantage of the holiday season. No denying that at all. But yeah, you're right. Once you get past those couple weeks, then, you know, you're not going to release early January. I mean, because here's what happens, guys. And Troy pointed this out in his big reply in Wife Wants a Wizard's post. I mean, think about how many companies, and it sounds like the way that video game companies work is there's a lot of vacation time. And from what Troy was saying, it sounds like a lot of them may have to come in and work now over those holiday periods. But a lot of companies take like 2 weeks at Christmas, or, you know, a week around New Year's. Like they take that Christmas and New Year's just rolls right in for this, you know, big 2-3 week period where there's a lot of people taking off work. So you're not going to release a game during that because of so many things that would have to go into that. Hey, Sahil, thank you for the subscription to the channel. Welcome.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And David as well. David, thank you so much. Man, you guys are showing crazy love and support tonight. The super chats, the subs. Very much appreciated, guys. Very much appreciated. For anybody who's just tuning in, I am not sure yet if I'm going to be able to co-stream the Gamescom thing. That's right in the middle of the workday for me, unfortunately. But you can rest assured that night I will have a reaction video going up. And then, of course, an eventual trailer breakdown, whatever we get. I don't even know if it's a trailer. Whatever we see, I will be breaking it down. Maddie, almost 4 a.m. Oh, my goodness. That is crazy, Maddie. Thank you for showing the support during this crazy early morning hour for you. Yeah, I'm sticking with that. The game that shall not be named. That's what we're going with. I am Gryffindor, Dread. Gryffindor. Do I think we can specialize in a type of magic? No. And yes. Yes and no. Like, I feel like the ancient magic whatever that is, that's going to be our specialty. That's going to be what kind of differentiates us. I mean, we already know that's what differentiates us. But in terms of like, well, can somebody be really good at charms and somebody else be really good at transfiguration, which isn't even a totally confirmed class in the game yet. I think the first trailer showed transfiguration, but we don't know that it's a confirmed class. That I don't know. That's part of the other reason I'm so curious to see about classes and how they work. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I saw both Expecto Go and Podcast Now have said they'll be co-streaming. Pretty sure. What house do you think will offer the best experience? Ooh, I don't think they're going to differ drastically. I mean, I think it would be cool if they did, though. I'll say that. If you, like, I mean, because clearly the companions are going to be cross-house, you know? They've already showed that in the trailer. So it's not like you're going to be locked out of certain companions based on which house you're... Actually, I don't know. Because, like, if you're a Gryffindor, I mean, will you be able to build up more of a relationship with Nat's side than if you're not a Gryffindor? That reminds me, there was an FAQ question. A lot of us were trying to figure out if this FAQ had been updated. Because it's been so long. I mean, after they announced the date, a lot of people thought it had changed slightly. There is one line that I noticed recently that I've probably read many, many times. Right here. This one here. Will players establish friendships in Hogwarts Legacy? Some students at Hogwarts will become friends. As players grow these relationships, these schoolmates will become companions who can accompany players on their journey, expand their abilities, and open up as players learn their stories. Dude, that... I don't know why I haven't talked about that more, but that is exciting right there. I mean, that almost sounds like a Persona-like system where if you spend, like, that I could see where be an area where you can really kind of craft out. If you spend more time with Natsai, well, she is super talented at this. So in turn, you're going to gain this ability. And I think it would be cool if, like, you can't do them all, you know? Like, in one playthrough, you can't do all of them. Then you have to do a different playthrough, and then maybe you get, Poppy has a special ability that if you level all the way up, oh, that would be so cool. But then I'm like, I wonder what they mean when they say expand their abilities. I'm wondering if that there is referring to the companion or the player. Or both. Because, like, we've seen a lot of different scenes in the trailer where we have a companion with us. Like, there's that scene with Fig, where we can see Fig's, like, right beside us casting spells. In one of the glitches that they shared, we can see pretty clearly that the centaurs were likely fighting on our side as well. Then there's that other, like, little dueling scene. We have, of course, the cutscene with Natsai. So, yeah, does it mean, like, is it like leveling up your party in an RPG, you know? Leveling up your party members. Oh, man, there's still so much I want to know, dude. So much I want to know. What are my thoughts on Horcruxes? We do not speak of Horcruxes here. How dare you ask me about a Horcrux? No, in terms of being in the game, I'm gonna say no. I think they're gonna try and let their game stand on its own and not rely on too many of the magical mechanisms that played a huge role in the original series. Mary says, what do we think about the guy that is with us and Fig in the carriage in the gameplay trailer? Watched it again. I've been curious about why there's only us and Fig. Yeah, who is that guy? I don't know. I don't know why I never really put much thought into him. He kind of strikes me as like a... Oh, I don't think he'd be like... Maybe he's like a ministry official? Who is like in helping Fig, you know, maybe he had to be there to verify when Fig picks us up because whatever the event is, somebody else was asking about that. Like, why does our character start as a 5th year? They have not said why yet. So maybe whatever that event is, maybe he's like a ministry official. As I was kind of thinking out loud, it's just an idea that came to me. I don't know. If they show us diving underwater. Yeah, or if they show us jumping. We can be pretty sure there's going to be climbing because of that Autodesk cutscene. But jumping, I don't think we can lock it in just yet. Hey, Assassin, what's up? Welcome, welcome. New Game Plus? Oh, I hope so, Machop. I hope so. I think that's pretty likely, yeah. For an action RPG... Mr. Xbox fan, yo, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Let's see. Not being able to befriend every companion really adds a lot to the replayability of the game. Hadn't thought of that. Yeah, and I hadn't put much thought into it either until I was revisiting this. And I mean, the way that sounds as players grow... Now... Let's be fair. The way some games do this, is that they give you enough time to where you can level up everything, which is fine. You know, some games take that approach to where you could get every character, you can maximize your relationship with them, get all their abilities. So they could very well do that. It could be a game where they give you that much time to where you can do all of that. That's a possibility. But I do think it's also a possibility that you're limited and that you have to choose, like, you know, this day there's 3 characters that... This is how Persona, if any of you have played Persona, you'll know. Persona handles like, okay, you've got this time period today. Which character do you want to spend it with? And then if you spend it with him, it you know, slowly builds up that relationship. I do think there will be DLC. I saw another question about that. If the game does well. An owl, a cat, or toad as our pet? I do. I think we'll get to have a pet. Previously, I would have said no, but after the state of play and that they showed us that whole menagerie of magical beasts, which blew my mind. Like, really? They're going here? That's amazing. I have not played the Hogwarts Minecraft map, but I have heard a lot about it. I have heard a lot of good things about it, yeah. Definitely at least one more, Snuggle Sharky. Definitely at least one more, because... we haven't seen a Ravenclaw companion. And I just think that would be so weird if Ravenclaw got left out. I can't see them... I mean, I hope there's actually more companions. I think it'd be awesome if there's more than 4, but I think minimum, I think we get 4. 1 for each house. Headmaster hates children. Yeah, if it's Phineas Black... which it seems pretty likely that the headmaster is Phineas Black for the game. Yeah, he's not a fan of students. Somebody was asking about, let's see, choices. The choice thing, that's another thing that we haven't seen at all, is like the dialogue. We haven't seen the dialogue at all. Yo, Joseph with the super chat. The $20 super chat coming in. Joseph, thank you so much for your support of the stream, dude. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Joseph asks, do you think they could stealth drop multiplayer after launch like with Returnal and Ghost of Tsushima? How do you think multiplayer would work? I would love to see PvP and Forbidden Forest like the Dark Zone in the Division. Dude, Joseph, so for the longest time, I was thinking on the exact same lines as you were. I said, I was even predicting, I was like, I think they're going to do, because so many people want multiplayer. So many people, and I know a lot of people don't. Before you guys start, let me know. I know a lot of you don't want it too. But so many people wanted multiplayer. And I was predicting for a while that they were going to do exactly what you said. I was like, I can see a post-launch DLC 2-3 months, maybe 3 months after launch of where they drop it. Because if you remember I guess it's been a few years ago now, there was that article about how WB was really doubling down on live service games, and they wanted there to be sort of an ongoing component to their games. And then they hired Chandler Wood, and I'm like, community manager. Typically, you think of community managers being involved with multiplayer type games, right? But I say all that, Joseph. But now I would say I'm 99% sure they are not planning it, unfortunately, unless they're just pulling a fast one on all of us. 2 reasons. One reason is an FAQ question that they added right here. And they added this a while ago. Hey, Dread with the super chat as well. Dread, thank you so much. We'll get to your question here in just a moment. Let me do a Control F. Yeah, here you go. Right here, there's this FAQ question. Does Hogwarts Legacy have online or co-op gameplay? And then they just outright say, Hogwarts Legacy is a single-player experience and does not have online or co-op gameplay. This is my guess on it, Joseph, is when they hired Chandler, I think he's doing a good job as community manager, and I think he probably was hearing some of the creators say stuff like, dude, I bet there's going to be a drop after the launch of some sort of multiplayer thing. And then, like, in the first thing that he did, there was also a line in a blog post where Chandler said, we very much want to reiterate that Hogwarts Legacy is a single player game. And then they kind of tweaked this, I think they tweaked this response a bit. I don't always remember it being quite this direct. So if they were to add one, then it would be like a complete 180. Maybe they just don't want anybody to know about it. But I'm saying 99% no. But in terms of like sequel, or maybe if the game does really well and it's something that people kept asking for, maybe so. I think the more likely, given this statement and given what else they've said, I think the much more likely path would be there's some sort of post-launch DLC for the story. And I could see it being related to whatever happens in the summer. So, I was talking about this on when I was on with Podcast Now. This game sets up so well for sequels. Like, you can have your one school year at Hogwarts where all this big story stuff happens, this ancient magic, this goblin rebellion, all that stuff. Then it leads right in to summer. Summer can be your DLC. Then it leads right in to your sequel, which would be your 6th year at Hogwarts. So that's what I'm thinking. All right, so Dread also had a super chat coming in there. No question, Dread. Dread just showing support to the stream. Dread, thank you so much. Really do appreciate all the support, guys. But Dread did have a comment with his. A multiplayer Wizard's Chess would be insane, honestly. Right? Like that one. And I feel like that would be an easy one to do. I'm not a game developer, guys. I don't want to insult the game developers on this. But I feel like if you're going to do something multiplayer, starting with the basis of chess, which is a game that we already have all the rules for, that would be easily doable, I feel like. It's just, for Wizard's Chess, right? It's just putting animations in there to where it's, some sort of battling component at the same time after you make your move. Stick to hurting people's feelings in Harry Potter Magic Awaken duels. Oh man, I'm ready for that to release. I haven't done anything with Magic Awaken. I made a couple videos about it, but I haven't played it at all because all the beta stuff, it doesn't carry over. So I want to go in and experience it fresh. I've watched James of Expecto Go playing it a little bit. I'm curious to try that game out for sure. I think that would be a fun one to stream. Oh man, you guys are just always asking such good questions and crazy support tonight with the super chats, with the new subs. What are we at in subs right now, by the way? Let me check something here. Let me go to my YouTube studio page. Yeah, we're over 26,000 subs now, guys, which is awesome. 26,449. Let's go, dude. But yeah, thank you guys so much for that. I'm reserving a spot on my wall over here. I'm going to get. You see this spot right there. I am going to get that 100K YouTube play button, guys. With your help, we will get there. We will get there. Who knows? I mean, Hogwarts Legacy launches. That may be just the thing to propel us there. But yeah, that's like goals right there. Goals. Multiplayer dueling club. I mean, there's so many things in Harry Potter that are set up for dueling club stuff, right? Yo, Cat Dad TV, what is up, dude? Not used to seeing your name here over on the YouTube live stream. Cat Dad, guys, a buddy of mine from over on Twitch. Cat Dad and I, we know each other in real life too, so real life. I need to stop saying that. This is real life. Cat Dad and I have met in person. That's a better way of me phrasing that, right? Can we get more likes? Alonia says. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let's see. What are the likes at right now? 157 likes. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Yeah, you guys, you got to help me come up with something like... a lot of you are fans of Expecto Go's live stream too, and he does a pirouette whenever he gets does he do one when he gets to 100 and then another when he gets to 150? And if Sue's there, she has to do one as well. I think is how it goes. I can't steal that though. We got to come up with our own thing. Got to come up with our own thing. Logan, always so professional. Streams are so fun and positive, engaging. Thank you. Logan, thank you so much, man. Warms my heart to hear that. Yeah, I try to... I love how you described it because that's like exactly what I'm going for. You know, I want it, there's a sense of professionalism, but also like a sense of having fun too. It's a tough balance. It's a lot harder than you would think to strike that balance. It's like some you feel like they go too far one way or another, but I try to ride that line. So very much appreciate that. Yeah. And I eventually want to bring back gaming live streams too. So we got quite a few people in here right now. I'm betting that not all of you know my kind of history of creating content. So just a real quick overview for you guys. And then we'll get back to talking Hogwarts Legacy. But I streamed on Twitch for like 3 years. 3 nights a week. And like made zero headway, man. It's a really tough platform to get discovered on. And then pandemic happened. I had all this extra time on my hands. And was like, dude, you know what? I'm going to make YouTube videos. Because if I make good YouTube content, people will find it. It's much more discoverable. And so I did, and then at that time I was doing YouTube and I was doing Twitch, and it was going pretty well. But then I went back to work. So the pandemic, I was at home for like, I don't know, 5-6 months. So I had all this extra time on my hands. So I was like, dude, I'm all in on Twitch. I'm all in on YouTube. But then when I went back to my regular 9 to 5 during the day, I had to make a decision on, because I couldn't keep doing both. I was putting out 2 YouTube videos a week, and I was doing like 2 Twitch live streams a week. It was just too much. And so the YouTube was doing really well. So I was like, I got to make a choice. So I stopped doing the Twitch live stream. So this weekly live stream that we're doing here on YouTube is really my first diving back into that. And so right now I'm not going to bite off more than I can chew. So it's like, this is our third regular one. Yeah, we've done 3 weeks in a row. Tuesday night, that seems to be a night that's working well for my family and I. But I want to start doing game streams again too. I'm replaying through if you guys follow the channel, you know I've been doing the Harry Potter games, and so I'm on Prisoner of Azkaban right now. But I really do. I want to bring back the live streams as well. It's just like, so like tonight, I'll try. I will not be able to make any YouTube content tonight at all. So then if I added another night where I was doing like a big live stream, that's another night where I don't get to make videos for you guys. So it's a big challenge when you've got a regular job too, plus family and all that stuff. Learn how to say it right. Oh, what do you, Purette? I hope that's close enough. I don't know. It's always been a tough word for me to say. I listen to James enough though. 100 likes equals spinning. Spinning in your chair while saying we. That's a funny one. I like that. Fuzzball found your channel 2 days ago and love that. Hey, thank you so much. Oh, you stream on Twitch, Mary? I didn't realize that. And Mary, you have a YouTube channel too, I believe, right? Yeah, Twitch is just like, it's a different beast. And you know, now like with the following I have here on YouTube, I could probably go over on Twitch and have, I don't know, way more than I used to have. I mean, I was like streaming to 5 viewers for most of those 3 years. But yeah, I would think I could go over now and get hopefully more than 5 viewers. But now it's kind of like, man, YouTube has been so good to me. You guys hang out. You guys show up big time anytime we do a live stream here. So I don't know. I think I'll test the waters as we go forward about the live show, like this RetroRaconteur live that we've been doing. I think that the home for that is YouTube, I feel like, for sure. But if we start adding games again, I don't know. We might try out both and see what happens. House with the $1.99 super chat as well. Thank you so much for the support. Do we get to use different wands or just upgrade ours? That is a very good question, which we don't know the answer to yet. We don't know the answer to. There's a lot, when it comes to the wands, a lot of people are basing their reaction to the wands on what we know about the lore in the wizarding world. So, wands, the wand... Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm cutting out the music for a second. And I want to show you guys a tweet. Yo, did I see Wizard PhD in here? Wizard PhD, what is up? Another fellow Hogwarts Legacy content creator. Professor Lynette. Thank you so much for hanging out. Good to see you, Wizard PhD. I just recently found your videos. I'd seen you in James's chat before. But yeah, Wizard PhD makes a lot of good Hogwarts Legacy stuff. Hey, there she is right there. I retweeted this. This was a good one. I like this video. Good job on that one. Where is my post about this? Because this just like cracked me up so much. Oh, where is it, dude? I'm tweeting too much lately. Oh, I don't think it was this far back. It definitely wasn't. If I don't find it here in this scroll, I'll just sum it up for you guys. But it's trust me, it's a lot funnier if I read it. Dude, I had to scroll right by it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. This was a comment. So if you guys watched I'm going to pause the music for just a minute. We'll bring it back. If you guys watched my video about, let's see, which video was it? See, I've got too many videos, guys. I can't even, remember my, it was this one here about the Autodesk session. I had a whole segment in here where I put this disclaimer about how we don't know. We can't take everything for sure, even though it's like kind of official. And when I did it, here it is right here.
presentation. This was a behind-the-scenes look at their development process. Point being, while...
So I did this Ollivander voice when I'm always kind of experimenting new stuff on YouTube, you know? So I was like, I'm going to put this in there just to be kind of funny. I feel like the majority of people liked it and got what I was going for. I can go in and look at my YouTube retention graphs, and I was going to see, like, did I have a big drop here when I did this? I did not, which I was happy with, but I did get this comment on the video, which I take out their name because I don't want you going after this person, but this is what they said. Please don't read text in a different voice. You clearly haven't practiced them, nor are you good at them. It cut me deep. That cut me deep, dude. It comes off incredibly bad. Example, around 328. I skipped through it. Oh, man. I got such a good laugh at that because I was like, I appreciate your honesty, you know? I do. I appreciate the honesty. And then Mark here says, this makes me want to watch the video even more. I said, you want to know the saddest part? I actually do practice this particular impression. And so the person who asked this question here moments ago, that question is what made me launch into this story here. So what I was about to do for you guys is I was about to do my Ollivander voice. Because when it comes to the wands, you guys, the wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. It's not always clear why. So maybe we practice. Maybe that's what I do at 100 likes. I practice my Ollivander voice. We come up with a phrase that I'm going to say. I'm going to work on that this week. That's it. I think maybe that as I spin around in the chair, I say something in the Ollivander voice. It's all coming to me now. So, the wand chooses the wizard. And that's what we always keep coming back to get back to the lore here, to get back to the question now. Sorry for the tangent. But to get back to all of that, I've been very curious to see how they'll handle the wands, because the way it works in the books and in the lore is like the wand chooses you. And any sort of like customization, you don't really get to customize a wand. Now, certain wands actually are better at certain types of spells. You see this if you read through the Wizarding World. If you go on there and you do the test and you get your wand there, you know, you can read about the flexibility. You can read about the cores. So I can see us getting those things in the game, but it's like in terms of customization, I feel like it's only going to be a purely visual thing. Like maybe we get to do the Lucius Malfoy style wand, or maybe we get to make carvings, or you get to tie something on your wand. I don't know how they may do it. In terms of using different, different wands or just upgrade hours. If I had to pick one of those, I would say it'll be more upgrading hours. I don't think it'll be different wands, because that, if you start to use different wands, unless it's the Elder Wand, which will show loyalty if you win the wand. If you win the Elder Wand and it sees you as the true master, then it will work very well for you. But what we know from reading, especially Deathly Hallows goes a lot into the wand lore. The wands do not work well if it does not recognize the master. And so Harry lost his true wand, or it was broken. So he had to use a temporary wand that I think they took off one of the snatchers, if I remember correctly. And you know, it worked to an extent, but it was not like his wand. And he talked about, you know, how throughout the book, like that was such an epic moment in that book. Like epic on the side of, maybe epic's the wrong word, but just like this oh crap moment of like, dude, the biggest battle of his life, and he has lost his tool, the tool that connects him to magic in the Wizarding World before his battle with Voldemort. He doesn't even have his own wand. What? That's one thing that I loved about how the book ended, is like, but because he was the master of the Elder Wand, it didn't matter, because the Elder Wand recognized him. Oh, so good. Anyway, so that was a really long answer, to your question. That was a very long answer, but hopefully we covered it there. So I think if we used a bunch of different wands, I think it would kind of go against the lore, unless they just like, if you picked up a wand and it just didn't work as well for you. So yeah, I think we'll be able to make some sort of upgrades. I think they'll tie it more into the spell side of things, in terms of like upgrading the spells rather than the wand, and then maybe we get some wand customization options. Machop entire month streaming to finally get affiliate. That was years ago. Love streams where we talk about really big games coming out like Hogwarts Legacy. Indeed. Maybe the wand is in that mysterious tab Chandler mentioned. It could be, yeah. I feel like that tab, if it's not just the house selection tab, then it's gonna be, maybe it's everything that we would need for Hogwarts. Like if we get to choose a pet, if we get to set up, if we get to get our wand, if we choose our house right there. Maybe it's like something to do with the house robes. Like you get to choose what your first set of robes look like. That could be in there too. Oh man, I'm behind on comments. Sorry. I went off on a big long story there. The voiceover didn't sound bad. Thought it was pretty good. Internet is brutal. Practice that particular impression on his film. I mean, personally, I feel like I can do a pretty good Ollivander. That's kind of one of my go-tos when I'm giving impressions for people, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it kind of hurt a little bit. It did. It did. But it was the only comment like that. Most people thought it was hilarious, so. And that was part of the humor, too. Is like, it was meant to be funny. It wasn't meant to be me auditioning for the role of Ollivander, you know? It was not meant to be that. Yeah, Joseph, that's a good... Joseph, I'm going back here a little bit, but that's exactly why I thought it would work so well, is because those multiplayer components were just, like, completely separate. So if you... All the people that are like, I'm single player only, they could still enjoy the base game, all the story stuff, all that stuff is still there. So yeah, that's why for the longest time I thought it had a good chance of happening until till Avalanche kind of came out and said, pretty much no. Chair spins are key. Akio subscribers. That's all. Alonia says that's almost spot on. Thank you. Appreciated. Are we starting this tonight? You owe us an Ollivander quote and chair spin. See, the thing about Ollivander quotes, there's not a lot of quotes. So I think we'd have to do the same quote. My go-to is always the I wondered when I'd be seeing you, Mr. Potter. Machop got to head out. Hey, Machop, thanks for hanging out, and thanks for becoming a member tonight. Rocking that RetroRaconteur badge. Let's go. I think they'll add one customization. Microtransaction. They've confirmed no microtransactions for Hogwarts Legacy. That is another thing that everybody... Oh, it was right where I had it left off here. In-game purchases are microtransactions. Hogwarts Legacy does not have. So, I mean, if they added these after the fact, even if it was like... If they added it in a DLC or something, then they'd have a lot to answer to. So, I mean, they're pretty much coming out ahead of this and saying, no, not going to be in. So, JDA, thanks for hanging out, JD. Have a good night. Frustrated player, how old are you? Just curious because you don't seem that old. Well, I have 2 young children. Frustrated player, I'll tell you that. If I didn't have my hat on, you'd probably think I look a lot older because a lot of my hair it's gone. It's gone. Not totally bald yet, but my son reminds me all the time, my 8-year-old. It's like, you have no hair. I'm like, no, son. There is some hair. But speaking of like brutal YouTube comments, in one of my videos, I was kind of talking about my history with Harry Potter. Here's how I'll tell you how old I am. I read Sorcerer's Stone in the 7th grade. Sorcerer's Stone, and it had been out. It hadn't been out that long, but I read it in 7th grade, long before it was made into movies. I take great pride in this, guys. Long before it was made into a movie, long before it was, the phenomenon that it is now. And yeah, Scholastic Book Order. They still have those things, by the way. But I was like looking through it, spotted the cover, was like, hey, that looks kind of cool. Read the description. I got to get that book. Got the book.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And was instantly hooked. Here we are now, all these years later. Shadowin, thank you for the sub. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, I've got an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. And then yeah, we kind of got like the beard. The beard here, it's quickly, rapidly graying. So I don't know, man. I can't pull off the Jude Law, young Dumbledore look. It's like annoying because it's just like right here. It almost might be better if it was like, just like a salt and pepper throughout. Being a member is great, Nico says, and recommend supports. Hey, thank you, Nico. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you're a member, you get access to those slick new emotes, which we unlocked. I think I unlocked 2 more. So let me know in the chat if you guys have a suggestion, because we got the 4 houses. So I'm like, what do we do now? Maybe we do a Hogwarts crest. That might be a cool one to have. Hogwarts crest could be fun. But yeah, I think we opened up 2 more slots. And then I don't even know what it's tied to on YouTube. Does anybody know like when you unlock more slots? I don't know if it has anything to do with it might be members or it might be tied to subs. I'm not sure. Yeah, no microtransactions. That is a big W. Yeah. Which I'm really curious to see how. Hey, Cat Dad becoming a member. Cat Dad, thank you so much, dude. Becoming a member here, getting access to those emotes.
How are you? Welcome to Gryffindor.
You like that sound effect there, guys? Welcome to Gryffindor. Okay, I admit I gotta work on that one. If we want to do Nearly Headless Nick, gotta work on that one. White Wolf, exactly where your beard is great up to. I mean, like right there, dude. Right there. I kid you not. Like, my wife laughs every time I bring this up, but you look at pictures of me, like when I'm holding my first son, my newborn son, full head of hair. Beard is like a complete dark brown throughout. And then you like start looking at his, like, as he gets older, the hair just starts going less and less and less. And the beard's like gray and gray and gray. I'm like, dude, if anybody wants to see the aging that being a parent puts on you. She's like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, no, it does. It's the stress of being a parent. That's what it is. That's what brought it on. Oh, let's see. What did Jay Rossi say? Mary said some people go bald faster and others nothing. Yeah, I mean, some of my good friends started going bald like shortly after high school, and then a couple of friends in college too. So it's so crazy how that is for guys, But yeah, I've just embraced it now, and I buzz. I don't buzz it like I don't completely shave it down, but I just buzz it at this point. Pandemic really helped spur that on when all the barbers were closed. It's just like take matters into my own hands. Jonathan, in different houses mean different background stories. You talk about like for our character. I think the background story is going to be relatively locked of our character. Hey, hi. I remember you from last week. Hi, welcome back. I think the map from the second movie where you can see where everyone is. Oh, the Marauders map. No, unfortunately, as awesome as that tool is, the Marauders map was created by Messrs. Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs much later in the... Unless you're talking about a different map. second movie. Let's see. No, he doesn't get it in the second movie, though, right? Does he get the Marauders map? I'm going totally blank. Embrace the ball, right? Yeah. Yeah, I've fully embraced it at this point. Marwin have to leave because of school. Hey, Marwin, thanks for stopping by. We've been going for about 2 hours and 15. I'm telling you guys every time. Like some nights I've thought about maybe we should do like an hour of talk show and then gameplay for another hour, hour and a half, but everything just always flows so quickly. Gets it in the third. Yeah, I was thinking it was Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, because that's when he learns the whole story of the Marauders. So I'm not, maybe they, let's see, who was that asked? It was High 123. Yeah, it probably meant third movie. Mary, he's the reason I start. I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Indeed. Poet started going bald right after high school too. You do have a glorious beard. Nice. Yeah, man. Like when you, that is such a, there's like so many YouTube videos of like the guys who just embrace the bald and then they go with the beard look too. It looks so good. Like 99% of the time, it's like once it starts to go, if you just buzz it, it looks 10 times better. Jay Park, hey, glad you could finally catch a stream. Yeah, Jay Park, nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Jay Rossi, I remember that one choice we get could be our blood is impure, half, or muggle. Yeah, we'll see. That was kind of a rumor for a bit. Yeah, I remember that rumor bouncing around. Yeah, dude, if the Marauders map had been invented, then yeah, they'd have to figure out a way to get it to us in the game. But yeah, Marauders map comes much later. And we know they invented it. It's not like something they found. We know they invented it, created it somehow. Which, like, what kind of magic could go into that, dude? That might be a fun theory video. Like, what the heck? Like, all the great witches and wizards that came before them, it was like it's pretty clever, that's for sure. 46? No, not that old. No. Subtract about 10 from that, and you're pretty close then. Frustrated. Dude, we got Gandalf here now. We've had Gandalf here. We've had Ranrock. We've had Jon Snow here in the chat tonight. Dragon Age Inquisition, you'll be called by game-issued last name, Panda Hat says. That's sort of what I'm thinking too, that the last name will be set, but that we'll get to choose the first name. Very curious about what the characters in the game call us. Yeah, because if they have it set, then, you know, if they have the last name set, then you don't have to worry about gender. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out if somebody is like if they pick their first name, you don't have to worry about trying to program that into the game somehow. You just have it set that this is the last name, regardless of the type of character you create. And regardless of what you make the first name. Steam page updated the correct release date, Tone says. Did they add the, can you pre-order yet on Steam, Tone? Have they added that yet? Might actually check that right now, because people keep asking me for that. Because you can pre-order on, you can pre-order now on the major... I know for sure if you live in the U.S. I don't know what it's like for the other countries where if you guys can pre-order yet. But like for console editions, let me look here. Steam Store. Hogwarts Legacy. Because last time I checked, it was still just add to your wish list. Yeah, still just add to your wish list. But you can see exactly what Tone was saying there. They've confirmed that. There it is right there. Planned release date. February 10th, 2023. Which, by the way, that is a Friday. I talked about this in my video. I think that all but confirms that part of the collector's edition, whenever they do announce it, one of them is going to have a 72-hour early access. Yeah, I don't think blood status is going to be in the game either. I think that it may be, but I feel like it would be set for the character. Although imagine if like you're Muggleborn and then Phineas Black, he like treats you differently if you're the Muggleborn. Let's see. Evan was saying something about could have been a legit leak that got deleted. I'm not sure if you're talking about that or something different. Yeah, frustrated player. You're right there now. You're right there. Yeah, I would definitely want to see it being relevant to the story if they did. You could pre-order on. Oh, you might be talking about the digital version, probably, right? Because you could pre-order the console versions, the hard copies. But let me see here. Xbox Store. They probably still haven't added. I'll check PlayStation as well. Hogwarts Legacy, Xbox. They still say available 2022. So they don't have anything up there yet. Let's see. Pull Chandler's tweet back over here. PlayStation Store. Hogwarts Legacy. What? I know it's on here. What? How does it not come up when I literally search Hogwarts Legacy in the Look at this. How crazy is this, you guys? PlayStation Store, Hogwarts Legacy. Nothing shows up. I mean, really? I know it's on there. I've seen it on there. Okay, so if I Google it, I'm able to find it. But, yeah, still just adding to wish list and release date to be determined, which we already know. It has been determined now. So it looks like they're just slow getting all of it updated. Also want to see if... Let's see if Amazon is updated to the correct date now. Dude, you still can't even get... Like, if you go on Amazon right now and you search Hogwarts Legacy, same thing is it won't show up. Now, if you do Hogwarts Legacy PS5, then it'll show up. Yeah, they've updated it. Sorry, I'm not going to show my Amazon page because I'm, like, paranoid that there's something on there that's, like... I'm going to, like, show my credit card to everybody, but... Yeah, it's on, Amazon has updated. Oh, they've updated it for, so PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Yeah, they've updated for all those. And then the Nintendo Switch. Oh my gosh, Nintendo Switch says December 31st, 2023. Yikes. They're just throwing on the 2023 placeholder now. Oh, man. Yo, Hogwarts Legacy in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, the official, they got the check mark there, you guys. Stopping in to say hi. Hogwarts Legacy, what is up? Yeah, I had it minimized, so I was looking through. We were checking all the retailers to see if they had updated yet with the new dates. Hogwarts Legacy. Everybody say hello to the official Hogwarts Legacy account on YouTube, guys. Yeah, we were just taking a look at seeing who all had updated things. So it looks like Xbox hasn't updated yet, but Steam has updated. Steam has the correct date now. Here we go. February 10th, 2023. But no pre-orders yet on Steam. So Hogwarts Legacy, if you're still here hanging out, we did a poll earlier that asked, I don't think this shows up anywhere now. I did screenshot it though. We've been saying hi, I'm late. You guys are like 5 minutes ago. Oh, man. I also think there's like that little bit of a chat delay anyway. There's that little bit of a chat delay. Jonathan, oh man, now I gotta scroll back. This is hilarious. Seeing you. You guys are freaking out like, Retro, wake up. Wake up. Oh, that's hilarious. Give us a scoop. Their lips are sealed until next week, right? Next week, we're getting more. Another 3 minutes at least. Okay, so at least that didn't take that long. After the stream. Dude, imagine if enough chats went by where I completely missed it. Blame it on the chat delay. Yeah, guys. There's I've got like a 5-minute delay programmed in. Didn't you know that? Chandler, is that you? Evan says. That's a good question. I wonder who does run the run their YouTube. Okay, yeah. So we did a poll. I screenshotted this so we could pull it back. We did a poll on. Let me go into my saved pictures so I can. I'll actually pull it up so everybody can see it if you weren't here in time to vote in the poll. So hold on, that's not what we want to see. I need to crop this here. But I asked, what would you most like to see next week from Hogwarts Legacy at Gamescom? And I made it difficult because, I mean, there's so many things people want answers to, right? There's so many things. All right, let's save that. And here are the results. So Hogwarts Legacy, it's not going to be difficult. I mean, look at this. We did not make it easy for you. What would you most like to see from Hogwarts Legacy at Gamescom? 23% character creator, 23% combat breakdown, 21% story trailer, 33% classes breakdown. So classes breakdown did come out a little bit ahead. But I mean, look at that. Almost dead even on those three. Who knows? Maybe we'll get all four, guys. All four in one big package. But so, I mean, the good news is, let's see, how many votes? We had 151 votes on that. 151 votes. So regardless of what you show Hogwarts Legacy, I mean, I think people are going to be thrilled. They're going to be pumped and excited. It was what we wanted. Yeah. Antoine, by the way, take as much time as you need. Make the game as good as you can at launch. Patient, just want a good game, not a rush game. Right? I mean, this is a game that is, well, like they said in the story, in the, after the state of play, I mean, Chandler said it. It's a game that's 20 years in the making of people wanting a game like this. So, and I love the fact that, I mean, clearly this means that WB is down for that too, you know? Because it's easy for I could see the company, the sort of the big wigs being like, no, get the game out, just release the game, fix it later. But the fact that WB is being patient enough and saying, yeah, take more time, I think is a good sign. A good sign. Incredible stats on that poll. Right, Ryan? Right? Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, they're like, we can't say much, but it is interesting indeed. What do you think we'll see in this week's Thursday Twitter? Oh, that's a good question. Will we get a Thursday post? Will we get a Thursday post? Because, I mean, that's a pretty big drop that came today on what is today? Tuesday? That came on a Tuesday that we're gonna get something, relatively big, it seems like, at Gamescom. Ryan, last name, I think we'll see all of the above. Oh, that'd be incredible, right? Take my money for the collector's edition already. It'd be cool if at the end of the game we meet a first-year Dumbledore. The only way that could happen, Panda, is if we go 3 years, which my expectation is that the game will just be 1 year. We'll see, though. I mean, we'll see. That's not confirmed. I kind of feel like just from the history of Harry Potter, it just feels like a 1 year. I mean, it's a good span of time for a game at a school to take place. It's like you have one school year. Because if they go more than 1 year, which would blow my mind if they did, but if they go more than 1 year, well then, I mean, all of a sudden that opens up things a lot more than we were imagining. Because then, if you go to year 7, you're exactly right. You got to meet Dumbledore. You'd have to meet Dumbledore. 27 years. I feel like a child waiting for Christmas. Well, it's funny. There are so many people who keep telling me, like, I've read so many comments on Reddit and in YouTube comments on my channel and other people's channel of people who don't even play games regularly. I feel like most of the regulars in this chat, most of the regular names I see probably do, but there are so many people who are wanting to get into video games just for this game, or haven't played games in a while, but because they grew up loving Harry Potter, they're going to play it. PC gamer trying to figure out how to get some physical collector's edition. Just about ready to buy a PS5 copy for the Steelbook, get a digital on PC still. Well, I mean, Shadow, they haven't announced the official plans for that yet. So what we saw and what was circulating online was stuff that they probably weren't ready to get out there yet. But the important thing about that is none of that was final. So yes, it was on the Avalanche website, hidden in the code, but that could have just been things that they were testing. It may not have even been definitely what they were going with. There could be more than what we saw there. There could be less. We have no idea. So there could very well be some sort of PC collector's edition, which I think would be kind of cool. I don't know if that's I saw somebody ask this in Expecto Ghost chat, and I'm not a big I have a gaming PC now, but like growing up and for, I don't know, most of my life, I've been a console guy. So I don't know what's kind of the history with PC games and collector's editions is, really. I mean, is that like a thing? Do PC games do that a lot? Because I can't really recall one. But again, like I said, I'm not really a big PC gamer, so. Type without looking at the keyboard. Oh, yeah. Frustrated player. Yeah. Yeah, I had a keyboarding class back in high school. And then, honestly, like, I grew up using computers all throughout school, so. Great skill to have, by the way, for anybody who doesn't. Like, I work for a library, and in my old job at the library, I used to help a lot of people with computer classes, and that skill, like, you could just work so much faster, so much more efficiently when you can when you know how to type without what do they call it, like hunt and peck typers, which is like, when you have to look down, and which is fine, but especially if you do a lot of typing, it's just super efficient to learn. PC games used to have CD, right? Yeah. They had just as big or better collector's editions, but now PCs don't have disk drives, right? Got a collector's edition for World of Warcraft. Now, see, that one I feel like is a different story because World of Warcraft is only PC, right? That's only PC. Now, the interesting thing, I don't know if you guys have seen this, the trend in some games now, even console games, is they're releasing the, so like the God of War Collector's Edition, for example, comes with all these physical items, but it does not come with the physical box of the game. It comes with a steel book or whatever, but it doesn't come with the game itself. It comes with the digital code for the game, because they have PS5s now that are digital only. So if somebody bought that version, if they have the digital only PS5, then they would be out of luck. Whereas the people that have the disc version can play both. I'm personally not a fan of it, but I get it. I understand the why. I mean, all the logistics that would be involved with if they wanted to do a collector's for disc and a collector's for digital would be monumentally challenging to pull that off. I agree with you, Jonathan. Yeah, I can't wait to see how the combat's going to play out. That's going to be awesome to see. Let's see. I saw Wizard PhD. It's great to see. See, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I'm not sure what that one was in reference to. My apologies. Squeak with joy when you saw the original release, then cried when 2023. Dally Boy theorized it'll be more like a story that won't even span over a whole year, but maybe like half of it, so that it has that whole open world once the story's over. That's another big question, Dally Boy, is how... Because you got to think, once the game is over, we're going to be able to still kind of free roam, finish up on trophies, achievements, all that. So I think what I think, and what a lot of others think, is that the game will just put you before the last story mission, which is what a lot of open world games do that have like a big story too, is they'll just put you right before the last story mission. So you're playing through, you'll beat the game, and then it will say, hey, we've placed you back before the last mission where you're free to roam and gather collectibles, all that kind of thing. And then they'll probably have, I would guess they'll have a New Game Plus too. Yeah. Will the more cool stuff coming later, they promise, be what appears at Gamescom? I think that's definitely part of it. Nay, I do. I think that's part of it. Chandler's tweet, though, I mean, I don't think that's going to be it. I don't think that's going to be all. I feel like I love that they're doing the weekly updates. So we're getting those updates each week. Now that somebody mentioned, like, I wonder what this Thursday's will be. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Will we get one this Thursday? Because they've got the Gamescom thing, and then they just announced the date last week. I mean, I guess we would, because we haven't gotten... Today was just more an announcement that that's happening next week. But yeah, I think there could be even more stuff after that. If Sony has a big event this year, which I think the latest rumor... I don't even try to keep up with all the Sony rumors too, but I think the latest rumor was saying like October, possibly. Hey, Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, nice. Let's go. Dropping the news right there. Going to head out. Haven't forgotten about Thursdays. Yo. Awesome to hear, Hogwarts Legacy. And thank you for stopping by and saying hello to everybody here in the stream at this late hour, Hogwarts Legacy. Well, maybe it's not. If you're West Coast there, maybe it's not too late. Actually, I'm not sure what time the folks at Avalanche are on. That's Utah, right? So... yeah, 10:43 for me, so hopefully it's not too late for you. But definitely after normal working hours, Hogwarts Legacy. So definitely appreciate you stopping by. All right, guys, you heard it here first. Sounds like the Thursday post is still on the way. Wizard PhD, last comment was, great to see people who haven't gamed. Yes, exactly. Be hyped about Hogwarts Legacy. Well, that's kind of the special thing, really, about Harry Potter in general. Is like Harry Potter really... for people of my age, back in my day, I mean, for my generation, Harry Potter got a lot of kids reading for the first time and understanding how fun and how engaging reading can be. And so it's always kind of had that legacy, that history. And so now it's like, I don't know, tying into video games a little bit too. Like, oh, these people who grew up loving these books, loving these movies, now there's this other, this other whole... I mean, can you imagine if somebody who's never played video games and they play this and they're like Then they start getting into other games like Skyrim and Elden Ring and just all the other fantasy games. It's awesome. Last story mission is probably getting on the train. Ooh. Getting on the train to say goodbye? Yeah, because it seems like we're not going to arrive at Hogwarts on the Hogwarts Express. So maybe we could get it on the other side, going home. White Wolf heading out. Hey, White Wolf, thank you for stopping by. Have a good night. Utah's 8:43. Gotcha. Okay, so they're 2 hours behind me then, yeah. Any other series I've been reading? Yes, actually, I just started reading. I'd never read a Brandon Sanderson before, and I've heard so many good things. I started reading Steelheart, which is really interesting so far. It's taking me a little to get used to the writing style, but I think it could be, part of that could be because it's told from a perspective of, I think it's an 18-year-old kid who's telling the story. Maybe kind of a weird place to start with Sanderson, but I was checking it out on my library, on my Kindle, an ebook, and Mistborn was out. It was checked out. That was one I was going to check on. So I didn't do that one. And then there's another big Sanderson one that is like his other probably biggest one. And so that one was checked out too. And then I was like, I went to his website and he has like a little breakdown of like, here's some good starting points. And Steelheart was another one that was like a good starting point. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll start with that one. Mistborn is the one. Mistborn, yeah. Mistborn's probably what I'm going to read next. Although Steelheart, I think that one is the Reckoners. I think it's 3 books. So I don't know if I'll jump right into the next one or not. If you're someone who grew up with Harry Potter and you're, I don't know, mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, 40s, if you're anywhere in that range, I highly recommend the Dresden Files if you haven't read them. The Dresden Files are amazing. They're amazing. And it starts out like the first one, I think it'll be enough to hook you. Second one's okay, like pretty good. Then from the third one on, it just like takes off. I mean, it just takes off. It's it's a book that like starts like you feel like, oh, this is the world. It's about a wizard who's a detective. And in each book is going to be him solving these crimes that involve magic, you know. And like the first 2 books, that's kind of what it is. And then you get to the third book, and the world just starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, we got some Dresden Files fans in here as well. Nice. They are, man. They're so good. Like if you grew up liking Harry Potter, I feel like you would enjoy these. Jim Butcher is the author. And that was a pandemic read for me. I read through the whole series during the pandemic. I haven't read through the short stories yet. I hear they're pretty good too. But yeah, he's got like several more planned, and then there's supposed to be a trilogy that's going to wrap everything up. Yeah, Kingkiller is great too, but where's that book 3? Where's the book 3? Way of Kings, yes, Antoine, thank you. Just finished Stormlight Archive. That's another one. Yeah, that's right. Dude, Sanderson is it's insane how fast that man can write. I saw somebody asking about the Switch version. I'd love to know more. I think it could very well be something with Nintendo's certification process. From what I've heard, it kind of takes a little bit longer. Hopefully, it's not going to be much longer than the others. I mean, maybe it's going to be like a March or like a late February. I mean, ideally, it'd be like a couple days, a week later. Oh, man, so many good comments. Joe, what's up, Joe? I didn't see you here. That might be your first comment, Joe. Dresden Files was great. Wish the TV series went further. I didn't watch the TV show yet. I heard it's like very different from the books, but kind of like its own you know, as long as you consider it sort of its own thing. But yeah, they didn't do them didn't go very far into them. Yes, Zachary, the hopping pot. Yes. Mistborn and Stormlight Archives are going to get adapted really soon. Yes, I just saw the announcement on that. I saw Brandon's YouTube video where he was talking about that. Antoine, personally not a fan of most things Sanderson. His fans really love him. You might end up loving him too. Oh, wait, which one did you recommend, Mistborn? You said Mistborn is the one I should try first. Yeah, I've heard from some people saying, and I'm kind of getting a sense from that with Steelheart, like, but again, I don't know how much of that is because of the fact that it's written from the perspective of an 18-year-old. But for me, the writing style so far, I'm about halfway through it. I don't know how to put it. It just seems like very kind of matter of fact, like this is what happened. And it seems it's just like very straightforward so far. And I don't feel like there's a lot of nuance to it yet. Now, again, I'm about halfway through. But yeah, we'll see. I definitely want to try Mistborn though, just because that one's kind of a classic at this point. The Emperor's Soul is your favorite of Sanderson. Nice. True Jedi, love the Sith, just subscribed. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Not sure why it didn't pop up. Sometimes I feel like the subs on YouTube are delayed a little bit. On Twitch, it's like, well, on Twitch, the sub is, it's a paid thing, whereas YouTube subs are free and membership is what you pay for. But even follows on Twitch, they pop up pretty quickly. But for some reason, I think on YouTube, it takes them a second. Oh, maybe they're popping through now. Dragon Master with the sub. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. Interesting. So that's kind of your thing too. Yeah, we're way off. Hogwarts Legacy, the official account stopped by. They headed out. Now we're just on a completely different topic. Oh, that's kind of a bummer though, if it sticks like that. Because the prologue of Steelheart, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. The setup, the premise is awesome. And I'm enjoying a story, but it's just very, I don't know how to, maybe I'm probably not describing it well, but it's just sort of a dry, this is what's happening. AJ Rossi heading out. Appreciate you stopping by as always. Iron Druid Chronicles. If I like Dresden Files. Ooh, I think I've heard about that one. I think I've heard of that one. Oh my gosh, we're nearing 3 hours, you guys. We're nearing 3 hours. Oh, I gotta hop out, guys. I gotta go. Antoine, I did. Yeah, I'm gonna do Gryffindor. Yeah, that's my house for sure. That's my house. House poll of what you want to be in. Oh, we'll have to do that one next time, maybe. That's a good idea. I think I did a poll on that on my YouTube community page. Evil Ravenclaw is most likely. My favorite Harry Potter film. Oh man, that's such a tough choice because I love the book so much that I have problems with each of the films. I was just watching the Super Carlin brothers did it's like an hour plus long video of them ranking all of the Harry Potter films, and I disagreed with quite a bit because it's like on one hand I feel like 1 and 2 are the most book accurate, but I don't really like I love them for what they are, but I don't like love them as films. Goblet of Fire is like a mess across the board, but I love the graveyard scene because that was the most important scene and they nailed it. So I guess it would come down to Prisoner of Azkaban, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows. I mean, maybe Deathly Hallows Part... No, there's so many... there's so many things that bother me about all of the other ones. like major things. Like, I'm still so annoyed that they didn't have the final battle take place in the Great Hall. The whole Voldemort and Harry flying through Hogwarts. I'm just like, come on. Anyway. Yeah, I thought their Prisoner of Azkaban ranking was low, because like my gut reaction is Prisoner. Like if I had to choose one tonight, my gut reaction would be Prisoner of Azkaban. Because the other ones, I'm not a huge fan of David Yates. Like I appreciate what he's done, but I feel like there's just something about when he took over. I feel like there was something that his films lacked that I just can't quite put my finger on it. Yo, Zachary Morris with another super chat. Good night, chat. You're the man, Retro. Zachary, thank you so much for the super chats. And thank you for hanging out. Very much appreciated. Oh, yeah, I love their theories, for sure. All right, guys. I got to get ready for bed. But this has been an awesome stream, man. Awesome stream. We got basically news that we're going to get another Thursday post. Awesome to hear. Official Hogwarts Legacy account stopped by. We talked about the delay. We talked about the date. We talked about Gamescom next week. And I still got to get some videos ready for this week, guys. I still got to get some Hogwarts Legacy videos ready for this week. The Let's Plays are still coming as well. I know a lot of people enjoy the Let's Play, so I got to get back to Prisoner of Azkaban. I think I'm getting closer to the end of that one. We'll see. But, man, you guys were crushing it tonight with the super chats, with the subs, and with all the great comments. Very much appreciated. If you're new here and you haven't checked out our videos, man, we've got a ton of Hogwarts Legacy videos. From way back when the game was first officially announced at the PlayStation Showcase, PlayStation 5 Showcase, whatever it was called. David Yates lacks style. Yeah. There's something missing there. Voldemort got a special death. Yes, that was another thing that bugged me so much. Oh, see, this is why, I mean, these streams, we could go on for so long. We'll do it again next week, guys. Next Tuesday. I feel like Tuesday is kind of our day. This is third week in a row. If we do, I mean, next Tuesday, obviously, we got to talk about Gamescom, because I don't think I'm going to be able to live stream it because it's right in the middle of my workday. But I'll have a reaction video, and then we'll have a live stream that night, hopefully. So, guys, thank you so much for your support. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. And sorry for, I'm not sure what the message retracted. I see a couple of them getting, I don't know if you're posting links or what. Sometimes the filter grabs things that it shouldn't grab. So apologies if it's catching something that is in error. All right, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your week. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you again very soon. Later, guys.